Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the ZO CBD Arizona Super TT, sponsored by RideNow at the Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. There's a beautiful aerial shot of this truck racetrack that has now been converted into a progressive American flat track TT course. It's the Super TT, ZO CBD Arizona Super TT, getting set to go with our first round of practice here today. See where we're at, just off of the side of the interstate right here. Chandler, Arizona is where we're at. I can't hear myself, or there's nothing going on. I've been talking, but I'll just keep talking. Getting set to go with our first round of practice. Mission Super Twins are coming up actually second, I believe. I think it's going to be the singles. We'll see here in just a little bit. Bikes are rolling on the racetrack. It is the singles class, first round of practice, heading on to the racetrack right now. We have 36 riders here in our singles class. This is the first time around the racetrack. It is totally different than it was last time we were here. There's jump number 2. And here comes a big left-hander, the final corner, and then they'll head onto that finish line jump, which is a 80-foot tabletop. Dalton Gauthier out in front on that 79 motorcycle. Right behind him, it looks like one of the Red Bull KTMs. It is the 18 of Max Whale. Whale currently third place in the point standings right now, coming into round number 4. They go an uphill tabletop. Kind of like Castle Rock last year, coming out of that corner and back up onto a tabletop. Maxwell's making the pass and taking over that top spot. We'll get it dialed in here just a little bit. Welcome to you race fans just joining us out here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. Here's where they duck into the infield. Little left-hander and then a right-hander. 2 laps under caution. And then practice will officially begin next time by the start-finish line. This might be a little preview of what we're going to see later on the main event. Dalton Gauthier pulls over and lets Max go on by. Bruner goes on by as well in the 21 Estenson Yamaha. Big sweeping banked first and second turn. Turn 3 will be this tight one right here going into the infield section. And this will be turn 4 up this tabletop jump. And then 5 and 6 is the final corner here on this Arizona Super TT track. Gauthier starting to pick up the pace just a little bit on that 79 motorcycle. Seeing what he can do. He got second here last time we were here. He's on a privateer motorcycle right now. DG79. Trevor Bruner has the top spot so far in this first round of practice. 28.122 on the Yamaha. Maxwell second. Morgan Michler is third. There's a look at the rundown so far. Trevor Bruner, 28.122 is in the top spot. This is practice. Look at him really slide it sideways when they go off into that first corner. There's a look back through the pack. The 88, that's Chase Sadoff. The 79, Dalton Gauthier. Sadoff is up to 4th. Again, this is just a free practice session. Everybody's going to get 2 rounds of practice today. We'll call that a switchback. I wanted to call it a chicane, but they've vetoed that. They want me to call it a little switchback. Checkered flag is out. Big P throwing that checkered flag. Look at him airing it out over that big tabletop jump. Tom Drain, the Australian, is up there 6th quick so far this first round of practice. 36 bikes have signed up for the singles class today, the AFT singles class. Group 2 will come out next. There's a good look at the aerial shot. Kind of a kidney bean shaped racetrack. Looks like. It's the drone footage. You can see they race drag boats over there on the pond. They had an NHRA drag race last weekend on the drag strip, and now we are here today for the Arizona Super TT. Group 2 set to roll out. The 49, that's Chad Coase. 51, Cole Zabala. 82 is Travis Pettin. 52, Shayna Texter-Bauman. 24 is the Canadian champ Hunter Bauer. The 38 is the Dean Machine Tanner Dean. 26 is Aiden Roos Evans. 55, Tyler Remaggio. 63 is Jared Lowe. 75, Terrence Santero. 117, Landon Smith. And the 132 is Bronson Pierce. It's group number 2 of the singles class on the racetrack. Looks like a very fun racetrack out there. The 51, Zabala. He's got company right behind him. It's Chad Coase, former Supermoto racer, the 49 bike. Chasing each other through here. Up this second jump. Chad Coase on that 49. First Impressions Husqvarna. He's chasing the 51 of Zabala. Again, they got 2 laps under caution. Now the green flag is out. You see the finish line is quite a ways down the landing of that big tabletop jump.
And they should be able to hear me now, too, Scotty.
We're trying to Jones is in the booth. Look out, the tree is here.
Absolutely.
Producer, you're in the wrong chair.
I am in the wrong chair.
What are you doing in Ralph's chair?
I should never sit back here ever again. What's that?
What are you doing in Ralph's chair?
We're trying to figure out a problem right now, but
okay.
I don't know what that problem is.
What do you think of the track?
Man, I think the track's awesome.
Would you call that a kidney bean shaped track? I mean, what do you think?
I don't know. Like a bow tie almost, right? If it came a little bit closer
yeah.
right there in the middle, I feel like that'd be a bow tie, right? What do you think about it? I think it's pretty racy
like
right
fun.
now.
I wish I had a 450 to go out there. I don't think I would like to ride it on a twin, but I think I would love it on a single.
Absolutely. Well, you get all the suspension with it and everything like that.
The rider that are following right here is Bronson Pierce.
Yeah.
He lives in Italy. Part of the year races the World Championship Supermoto races.
Look at that! Look at that! I'm sorry, I haven't been able to see him go over the jump yet. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're airing it out. I'm curious to see how the twins are going to do on it, but these singles riders appear to be making it over no problem,
handling it well, right?
Yeah. What I talked about too is the finish line is almost at the bottom of the landing, so you really have to. You just pin it.
Not even. This is the one thing I think is weird. Not even. Just the finish, but the start.
Like starts on the tabletop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and it's a downhill, like camber.
Well, they originally talked about putting it beside the tabletop, but then our fans that come here live wouldn't be able to see the start, so we put it on top of the finish line.
So here's my question to you, right? Yeah. If you're starting in the back, do you have more of a chance? Or no? I mean, you get. I mean, it's not much, right? But
I don't think so. It'll depend on what happens in the first turn. You should have more momentum and more speed. By the time you get to that first corner, and that first turn is big. It's wide. They're already sliding it sideways just past the landing to really pitch it in the corner.
Tucked in, right?
But what you have to remember, Brad, is off the start, you're only going half as fast when you get in that first corner. My dad would tell me that when I was racing. Off the start, you could go through wide open through 1 and 2 because you're
the start.
Maybe half or 3/4 speed by the time you get there. So it's deceiving if you think about that.
So I mean, look at it right there. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. What the facility is amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
The track is so cool.
I heard some motors running last night. I thought it was drag boats, and on the way out, they were actually over there on the drag strip.
That was us leaving here.
You leaving here in the rental cars. Now I know. That's why you told me to go home early.
Absolutely. Hey, go ahead, get out of here.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so
they're actually going to exit the racetrack right here to go into the pit area instead of going all the way around on the racetrack. They'll exit right here.
Oh, okay.
That'll be the hot and the cold box too. So it's a little way to get off the track a little bit sooner, so we can send out the next group possibly. But
it's cool and it's wide. Look how wide it is.
Look
right?
how much rubber is in turns 1 and 2
already. Yeah.
And there's only been 2 groups on the track. Can you imagine?
Oh man, later.
Yeah. And it is a day race. There's no lights here. There were last time we were here, but they had to rent them, and it costs a lot of money. So we're running a day race. I don't think that's the reason why because
No. Well, I guess last
factor.
time, too, there was another event that was happening about the same time, and so they were able to double up with the lights.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a look at that rubber going into turn
Wow,
1 and 2.
and it's dark, too.
Already. Yeah. And we've only had 2 groups.
Look where it's starting.
Right past the finish line, they're throwing it in the corner. Here comes group number 3.
These guys are wide open
Ray
already.
Handy out there in the 174. He is awesome. His dog is the team owner, Huey. He's actually already been passed right there as the 274. That's Scooter Vernon. He used to have a national number there for a while.
I remember Scooter.
From the Pacific Northwest. Handy got a little sideways. 151, Cole Fredrickson ran about 6th here, maybe 5th or 6th last time. He could be a wild card.
Oh, look at that guy.
Brandon Ash is on the 140. Holland Ash, he's got hats again. He won last year.
What a great nickname, huh?
Christian Spurgeon on the 233.
Tuck
Reese
it in.
Podorf on the 106. Declan Bender almost made the event last weekend. Got beat up by 1 spot last weekend. Steinwagner's on the 53. Hayden Gillum on the 169. We'll keep our eyes on him. He should be a factor today.
Another Kentucky.
From the OWB.
Yeah.
And 155, Owen Kistler from up there in the Pacific Northwest. And Jacob Cassio on the 121, still looking to make his first main event of his career.
So, what's funny is Hayden was part of that, the Assassin's Creed that they brought into Peoria.
Yeah.
He and Jesse came in that year.
Yes.
And Jesse parlayed that into a pretty good little run last year.
Well, I mean, just from coming off the couch to go ride and then get faster and faster and earned, a ride for the Vance and Hines Harley-Davidson
get one
team.
of those fat rings from
and
Tom
got a
Duma.
Championship.
How good is Tom Duma to us?
Yeah, he loves this sport, and we're glad he's a part of it. 53, Steinwagner's already doing a little soil sample. The chain's already off the motorcycle.
Soil sample.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, so he looked like he got deep into that corner, bounced off one of the hay bales down there, and I think his back tire's on the chain, Brad.
It looks it. It's crazy looking. Look at that.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I don't know if it broke all the way or maybe just popped.
And they're keeping everything
off.
Green out there.
Yeah,
huh?
he's in a high impact zone.
That's what I thought.
Maybe they don't see him.
Hey,
wave your hand. They're waving a yellow flag, but I don't know. I would think I would get out of the way. Here's a look at it.
Here we go.
Oh, yep, just got out in the loose stuff.
Oh, man, up in the loose stuff.
The chain's
it's off already.
I bet.
Yeah.
That's why
he just lost all.
When the chain's on there, Brad, the back pressure of the motor slows you down.
Yeah.
When that chain goes off, it's like hitting a false neutral. You just carry more speed in the corner. So I'm sure the chain came off. Oh, it is broke off.
Right.
Now it's stuck down there. It's probably stuck on the
the sprocket. Huh?
Yeah, on the countershaft sprocket. I don't think you'll be able to fix that. We're out there on the track. Brenner at the top spot. He was in group number 1, 28.122. I wasn't sure that he would be a jumper, but he looks pretty good.
I called it earlier, didn't I? I think I said something.
That's why we're going to shoot a little something with them out there. Maxwell second. Morgan Mishler.
Good for Morgan.
Morgan got second at the Peoria TT. I did kind of count him out already, but got put him back in the mix, I think.
And Chase, nice to see Sadoff out there. But, these are – the other guy, I'm looking at this list, the other guy I'm super impressed with, Tom Drame. Tom Drame has adapted to our tracks pretty well.
Quick, too.
Yeah,
he's 16 years old. That's what's the most impressive is he's young, but what he doesn't know, too. So maybe no fear.
You could say that about me, too.
What you don't know is what you don't know. I was going to say, you're not young.
Yeah. At this age, what I don't know, I've forgotten.
Probably won't know, ever, right? So I got to ask you a question. Yeah. How does a football player from Penn State become a producer?
Man, well, I went to school for this. Man, look at him get. Yeah,
really?
I went to school. Yeah, I didn't go to school to do flat track racing.
No, you went to school to play football. I thought.
I did. Well, listen, at Penn State, we tried to.
Try to learn stuff
too. We try to be a little bit of an educational process.
Well, that's good to know.
But I remember going to my very first flat track, probably '99, Springfield, Illinois.
Okay.
And Larry Myers, the old announcer.
Yep.
It was me. I worked for a guy named Chet Burks. It was me, Larry Myers, Chet, the whole crew. And Larry Myers grabbed me and he said, "Hey, you have to come with me." And we went inside turn 1.
And then you're hooked from there.
That's
right?
all it takes.
That's all. Yeah,
it's literally all it takes. And then you get to meet the guys.
I think one of my first times as a young adult before I started racing flat track, Graham and Pa took me to the Springfield Mile, and we walked straight through the grandstands, right past the tunnel, and they were already out on the racetrack. And when they went past at 135 whatever miles per hour, the hairs on your arms stand up, the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and I was hooked from that moment on too.
It's amazing.
Even though I grew up
around
a racetrack.
it, right?
At a racetrack. Until I went to the Springfield Mile, I was like, wow.
You know, the one thing that transcends all sporting events, racing, football, baseball, everything, and I just think of it when I see the wide shot here of the track, is the national anthem. Like, I still get goosebumps. Like, I get misty-eyed if I'm at the event and I hear it sang, like, in person.
Especially if someone kills it, too, you know?
And it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it's so cool we get to do what we love, right? So, anyway, stick and ball guy. And then I love racing. But, I mean, I love, especially flat track stuff.
Yep.
I'm so in.
So, we actually met back in 2005, Live iSports, before streaming was really streaming. Yeah. And we got to meet each other then, and now we're reunited a couple years ago, and you're back for more.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there, look at me. I look like a homeless guy. Hey, let me straighten my shirt up there.
What'd you get that at the Walmart?
What's that?
Is that a Walmart special?
It actually is. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me.
That's Brad Jones.
I lost my razor, too.
We call him the treat.
Yeah.
Well, the head looks nice and shaved, but the face is
hey, Kristen B!
Look, everybody's here. Kristen B
family
shows
time.
up in our little office.
It's family time, everybody.
Super Twins.
Why don't you sit down here?
Track.
And we'll work on fixing this headset real quick. Okay? Hey, bye, everybody.
Brad Jones hopping off. We'll get back on the racetrack. Kristen Beat's going to slide on in. All right, so Super Twins on the racetrack. Two groups. Here they go. 32 is Dallas Daniels. The 1 is Jared Meese. The 44 is Brandon Robinson. 95 is J.D. Beach. 67 is Fisher. The 3 is Briar Bauman. The 20 is Jared Vanderkoy, and the 10 is Johnny Lewis. So, again, we're having a little technical issues in the truck, but it sounds like it's still working, I think, outside for the folks that are here, and it's working for people at home watching on fanschoice.tv. I'm Scotty Dubler. Up here in the booth with me now is Kristen Beat. Beat, what do you think of the track?
Whew, let me tell you what, speaking to some of the riders, this is going to be a fast one. They are clicking it up because this track will allow you to carry so much speed. As we watch Dallas Daniels there head over the tabletop. I'm used to calling them, but we're calling them jumps here.
Really?
Yeah.
I call it a tabletop.
I called it a
tabletop too.
I know. This is the fun one, right?
Yeah.
Right on the start finish, they can nearly clear it. And
there's a rider down on the other tabletop. The red flag's coming out. Sorry, Kristen.
No, who is it?
It looks like, I'm not sure. Who is that? Looks Robinson again.
Oh, that looks like B-Rob.
Oh, no. He went down last weekend as well as Sonoya in practice and goes down in practice again today. Looks like he's holding his hands. Now he's trying to shake things off. But that's coming up the second tabletop, or the second obstacle, the second jump.
Right.
So B-Rob throwing it away once again. Moorhead is there, and so the other guys on the track crew. But unfortunately, that is what happened. So again, we got a few issues. We can't hear each other that well, but we'll see if we get another replay. Oh, the bike's going end over end. Oh, no.
Now, what would cause that to happen?
So they're coming right out of a corner. Think about Castle Rock last year, Kristen. Right out of that corner was that jump. It could be slick going up the face of that jump. The back end could have stepped out. Coming up the jump, the back end could have stepped out or something. And for that bike to be flipping like that, I don't know. But he's up and on his feet. That is good news. If you're here, put your hands together for B-Rob going down. We'll see if we can get another look at it. Watch the left of the screen. The bike's already standing straight up and down, and that bike tumbles, and that's one of them Indian FTR 750s.
And that is the tough part about these TT tracks. You know, they're part of Flat Track's history. Peoria, one of the most legendary tracks in the history of Flat Track in the Grand National Series. But when you look at some of the incidents that have happened at TTs, they're always more horrific, I feel like, than some of the smaller tracks that we visit.
And too, Kristen, for a long time, there was only one or two TTs on the circuit, and it was different. And now there's 4 of them. So these riders really have to adapt and learn how to jump. These twins, it's a handful. The singles are 450 built as motocross bikes, so it's easier for them. But now these twins, you know, they're not usually meant to jump. So they got to get that figured out. And Brandon Robinson is, man, that bike looks pretty bad. I saw another shot of it, but the rear end looked like it was sunken down a little bit. So, Kristen, you're live on Instagram. What are you doing over here?
Yeah, I'm actually, I like to go live on some of our booth calls for qualifying. So, folks, if you're at home, if you haven't been watching the American Flat Track Series, now is the time. I know it's a weekend off for Supercross, so you guys can tune in, still get your racing fix here at the American Flat Track Series. We are on Fans' Choice. We will also air later on Fox Sports 1. So much fun being in the booth right now, especially for the TT. Now, Scotty, bringing everyone's attention to the way this track is laid out. There's actually 6 turns on here. There's 2 jumps. One is a tabletop. One is more of a
just a
single.
Coming out of
That's
a
what we
corner,
get with flat track. But looking closer at this tabletop here, what I've been so impressed by is the amount of speed the Super Twins have to carry to actually clear that. Now, there's a lot of guys who have been clearing it, but to get the momentum to actually clear that jump with that heavy of a bike, with a twin, with a 750, it takes a committed rider, to say the least.
That, and to air it out and make it, especially over that finish line jump, to air it all the way out and land and get it going again. You know, these bikes are so low to the ground already, you can't really get big air and make the thing scrub like a motocross or supercross guy does. So you try to get down and get that back wheel on the ground just as quickly as you can, but sometimes
because
you can't.
The traction creates that forward motion, right? But when I was talking to JD Beach, what I thought was very interesting is we get a shot here of the riders off track, Jared Mees and Briar Bauman. Briar Bauman an undercard here, but do not count out Briar Bauman. He's always been very strong on the TTs, and he almost won the last time we were here back in 2019.
Correct, he did. He came up about 2 laps short, and JD Beach got by him. But your story, we got people underneath the desk now. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on in the desk
So,
out here in Arizona.
We're out in the desert. I thought I saw a snake or something hanging down, but they got the back of the booth
Morgan
open
Mishler
up.
actually told me to beware of spiders out here.
They said that during the riders meeting.
He said, Kristen, I thought he was kidding.
No, they said to watch out for him.
Why Briar taking such a slow approach on entry?
He's trying to let everybody else go, get away from him. He doesn't want to catch them too fast, and maybe doesn't want to show the line too soon, or maybe just wants some clear racetrack so he can go out there and do his own thing. As we look at Davis Fisher right here on the 67, there's a few braking bumps right there. I just saw Davis Fisher's front end bounce up and down, and that could be a factor later in the night too. Who can get through those braking bumps or the starting of those bumps faster?
When speaking of braking, there are kind of 2 methods that riders will use, 2 strategic approaches they'll take. When I spoke with Chris Fillmore earlier in the day, obviously he has a huge history in road racing, and Chris was explaining to me the flat trackers generally like to keep the corners really wide open, right? They want to slide the bike in, but that's not always going to be the fastest on a TT. So he's trying to coach his riders to use a straight line brake method. So come into the corners hot, carry as much speed as you possibly can, brake and turn. Okay. Versus other riders who have a more traditional approach to it, really kind of open up the corners, create a flowing momentum. But I mean, Chris Fillmore has such a storied history. Hey, what's up, Brett? No, we cannot hear. A few technical issues.
But what you're saying about the KTMs, before you finish your thought, they can do the more of the straight line braking because they have these great big front discs on the bikes that we don't normally have except for on the TTs. So keep going.
Yeah, and so he's trying to coach his riders to kind of use that straight line braking technique, whereas when I spoke with Trevor Bruner earlier in the day on the Yamahas, he's trying to remind himself to really open up the corners. So there's 2 kind of approaches, and I think that depending on how comfortable the rider is using the front brake, if you can figure out that straight line brake technique, you're going to have more success on this TT this weekend. It's faster.
That's good stuff, Kristen. And you always do your research. You talk to the riders all week long, and you're on it for sure.
Thank you.
I love it.
I'll pay you with Dr. Pepper later for saying all those nice things about me. Isn't it weird, though? So right now, me and Scotty cannot hear each other. So we are feeling a little bit.
And we're kind of struggling a little bit up here,
We're struggling a little bit. It's kind of weird, a little awkward.
We're watching the Jammer Jared Mees. He's third quick so far behind the 2 Yamahas. It's JD Beach in the top spot, 29.271 as the leaderboard just comes up. Look at Vanderkoy just airing it out on that big jump right there. Went all the way over to the other side.
But it's Jared Vanderkoy, who a TT specialist in his own right, who has also impressed this offseason. You know, when I've spoken with him and Jen, they've explained to me how hard this offseason was for them. He wasn't even sure if he was going to come back to racing. He started looking at normal jobs. He said, listen, this may not be for me. They were able to put a team together last minute, and this has been one of his strongest starts to a season as of late. And I think sometimes nothing will motivate a rider more than seeing the end of the tunnel.
Right. And you know, they bought a house together. He's a homeowner. He's maturing.
He has bills now. He's got bills he's got to pay.
Choices are harder. And, you know, he talked last season, he didn't have a ride. You know, at the end of the season, he was done and out. And the things fall together, kind of like what happened with Briar and Shayna. You know, their team came together with 43 days before the first race.
And speaking of Briar, to put that KTM on the podium right now for qualifying. I mean, JD Beach, Dallas Daniels, and Briar Bauman. This does not surprise me, though. Briar Bauman was right in the hunt in 2019. JD Beach only narrowly passed Briar Bauman for the win back here, 2019.
Yeah, Briar had a big lead, and JD just put his head down and tracked him down, and that was JD's first win of his career.
Right. It was a very exciting race in the last 3 minutes.
Were you here last time?
I was.
Really?
That's my first season with American Flat Track.
Right.
And what I really love about this track is the multiple line options. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to see that as much today, because as we're seeing the track kind of groove up down here, I'm hoping it doesn't stay one-lined. If they stay on top of the track, we won't see a follow-the-leader race. But that's what made the 2019 race so exciting, is the multiple line racing that we saw later in the race as the line kind of expanded. The 37 there on the Bronson Bauman, another really talented TT rider on the screen there. And we've also got the 29 in our shot. 25, Colby Carlisle right there as well. Ben Lau.
Bronson's on a different motorcycle, the 37 bike. Usually he's on an orange and black one. They're calling this one the Marshmallow, the white one. That's what he told me that on press day. I don't know how official that is, but that's what they're talking about on press day.
They've got all their different names for all their different bikes.
Isn't that funny? I don't know that I ever named any of my bikes.
I don't ask them anymore, because most of the time
because you never know what they're going to say.
they're not names we can repeat on TV for the most part.
And they're not really the truth either.
No.
So there's 36, Colby Carlisle. He's out there on the G&G Racing Mission Foods Yamaha.
An excellent TT rider as well.
Yeah. His leathers just landed about an hour ago at the airport, and somebody just brought them to him.
I saw he was wearing the Essenson leathers earlier.
He had his Essenson leathers on earlier, and he's taping up the number 1 on his back when I was over there talking to him in the pit. So it was his backup plan. Colby Carlisle just got here.
OKC.
AC. JD Beach at the top spot. There's a look at the leaderboard. 29.209
Dallas
for
Daniels.
JD Dog.
Now, what is the mentality if you're Tommy Hayden and you have 2 riders under your tent that are each in contention for a win here, both needing your coaching, both needing your attention, Scotty?
Yeah,
because that is the case for the Essence Racing Yamaha team this weekend.
You have to be rooting on both of them. There's probably no team orders. Whichever one's going to win is going to win. But it's good to see both of them up top, and Dallas is our points leader with 2 wins and a second place finish. So he's got the big momentum coming in. But JD is the TT specialist. He's won 6 TTs in a row.
Now, whenever we come to the TTs, though, there are opportunities to make mistakes. And with those opportunities for mistakes, there's also opportunities for bikes to have issues, especially on a TT. And I think that for the Essence and Racing Yamaha team, if you know that you have the strongest guys on track, you're making sure that the bikes are prepped perfectly, because this is a championship winning race, a championship winning opportunity for you. For Dallas Daniels, you're looking for JD Beach to make a mistake. Oh, as we get a replay right here of Colby Carlisle, the end just kind of getting out from the line there.
Well, it looks like he's just right off the edge of the groove, and he's feeling the racetrack, just trying to get it dialed in. Looks like maybe the suspension's not quite dialed in right there, but
starting to dance around a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. He'll get it figured out. I mean, that's what practice is for. They're giving him 2 rounds of practice today for both classes.
Well, and they are running stiffer suspension here, so it's been hard for a lot of the riders to get used to.
Right.
So getting used to how these bikes need to be ridden with those adjustment changes for performance is going to be a major learning curve for the entire paddock.
And that's what you have to rely on your team. Who you have a suspension specialist? I mean, Estenson has Brandon Bergen. I know Jared Meese has Jimmy Wood. I'm not sure who's helping out Colby Carlisle on the G&G Yamaha team, but you got to go back and talk things over with your crew chief. LJ's back there and Big John, and try to see what they can figure out. And the mechanics are all standing right back there on that outside that concrete wall, just on the outside of that last corner, trying to watch and learn as much as they can. But it's hard.
Yeah.
Checkered flags coming out from Big P. The rest of the riders coming across the finish line. There's Andy DeBrino, the 46. He's back there on the KTM. He was kind of a wild card coming in. He just now moved up to this class. That's actually his Super Hooligan motorcycle.
Really?
And he's like, I'm getting my Super Twins license to go race the Super TT. Okay. And Andy DeBrino will try to get it figured out on that KTM. He's on that 46 bike. He didn't qualify so well here in this first round of practice. And it's only practice, so it's not a big deal, but it takes a while to get it figured out.
This session is where they figured out if they unloaded well.
Correct.
That's it.
Right.
And then they'll go back to, I think that we're going to see a lot of suspension changes. I think we're going to see, maybe even some of the riders making some gearing changes as far as like how the start is working out for them.
I can see that too. Yeah, because that front straightaway is really long. I know it's split up by that big tabletop jump, but that's a long front straightaway. And
I think for a lot of the moto community, watching this race without seeing knobbies seems odd. Different. And it is different for the riders too, because generally when they're on their test bikes during the week or they're on their practice bikes, they race on knobbies at motocross tracks to get their reps in and to get their seat time. Well, to be racing on a track with jumps without knobbies is very counterintuitive. The bike grips differently. They have different body posture to make sure that when they land, they have the weight distributed properly on the bike. So for a lot of these riders, I think that this weekend, getting used to riding a TT without knobbies again.
Yeah, and, there's not a lot of suspension on these flat track bikes. I know it looked like Breyer's rear of his motorcycle was up a lot higher than it was normally, so maybe stiffen up that shock or maybe put a longer, stiffer spring on it. And a lot of guys will do stuff like that.
Sorry, guys, there's a lot of ambient noise going on right now. We are kind of fixing up this truck. It has been 19, 20, 21, 22. It's been a few years since we've been here to the Arizona short track, so we're figuring out how all this is kind of shaking down for the TV truck as well.
Yep. So again, 2 rounds of practice for everybody. They did make one change to the format. If you guys have printed out the format like you do or like I do before I come to the races, they actually have put the AFT singles last chance qualifier before the 2 challenge races. That will give those riders a little bit more time to get ready for their main event. So they did make one change to the schedule here at the ZO CBD Arizona Super TT, sponsored by RideNow, here at the Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. All right, they're going underneath the desk. You never know what's going to happen here in the production truck.
I'm suddenly feeling very inclined. You know what? I actually should videotape this because this is
Need a flashlight.
Oh, good, because I'll videotape it at the same time. This is a core memory.
This is what we don't normally get here. So, got Brad Jones working underneath the truck. You see they're using the leaf blowers right now, Kristen, to try to blow the looser dust off of what the racing line is already starting to form. The water truck is out there as well. So there is a lot of scheduled track maintenance in this race today.
Right.
And that is because it's Phoenix, the sun is out, it's dry out here, so they have to do as much as they can to put as much water on this racetrack as they can all day long.
Water equals grip, and you want to see guys move around on the track. You want to see them be able to make passes. You don't want to see that one line follow the leader stuff. So the more they can get that dusty stuff blown off, the more they can add moisture to the track. That's going to create better racing.
Yep. All right. Word from underneath our desk is we're going to take a commercial break. That'll give the riders a chance to work on their bikes. We're working on the racetrack, and we'll give Jason some time to find some commercials for us. So hope everybody's having a good time out here watching the Arizona Super TT. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Made for the life riders, for those who go the extra mile, those who fly on the court, those who just keep swimming, those who are chasing dreams. We are here for the champions, for all the life riders. ZO CBD. Relax, focus, enjoy your life.
The loyal
Riders, let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get close to see if we can
Working on the audio system in here just a little
Audio
bit.
stuff. We're doing audio.
Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
VP Racing Fuels. No matter what motorcycle you race or ride, amateur or pro, we have a fuel to make more power. Keep your bike running cool with VP Stay Frosty Coolin', available in 2 formulas. Race ready, designed to be glycol-free and track approved, and high performance with freeze protection for street
out here
applications.
in the booth, underneath the booth.
Visit VPRacingFuels.com to learn more.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead. Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Brought to you by Yamaha. On the track, on the trail, or out on the open road, check out Yamaha's full line of class-defining, adventure-seeking motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-side vehicles at YamahaMotorsports.com. Al Lam's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout? A cool $2,500. Al Lam's Dallas Honda. Riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com. Progressive is proud to be America's #1 motorcycle insurer, protecting 1 out of every 3 insured riders. And they also offer coverage for your boat, RV, and other adventure vehicles. Quote motorcycle insurance online in as little as 3 minutes or bundle your insurance together today.
When you think of a ride, you think of quality. When it comes to hitting the ground and protecting your head, I wouldn't wear anything else. The design of it is round and smooth, so when you're rolling through the dirt, your helmet doesn't catch the dirt and hurt your neck. Safety in flat track and motorsports in general is probably the biggest concern. Obviously, we're all here to win. At the end of the day, we're all concerned about our well-being, and for that, you want to have the best gear on, and for me, a ride's the best choice.
Rev up to get fueled by Mission as the world's most extreme dirt track riders and tastiest products come together to fuel your whatever you crave. Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
We're the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. We understand the challenges riders face every day. As riders, we want to share the road and be seen by motorists. Remaining visible is critical to our safety and well-being. That's why we work tirelessly to promote motorcycle safety and awareness. We're proud to support our community that includes riders of all stripes. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motor.
On Saturday, May 13th, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing returns to the legendary Sacramento. Meet your favorite riders. A showdown of epic proportions. This is Progressive American Flat Track. The legendary Sacramento Mine. Saturday, May 13th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com. The loyal
Riders, let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer? Cool. Hey, if Brian's not gonna be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
I just did. Where does it come in here?
Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods, a proud sponsor of AFT Super Twins. Mission Foods has mouth-watering snacks and easy-to-make recipes to fuel your race day. Now that's too fast, too tasty. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high-performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com. Kicker Performance Audio is your fuel for living loud. Proud sponsor of American Flat Track, the original extreme sport. Now, 50th year, Kicker has been the world leader in audio gear for cars, trucks, cycles, and America's roads. Kicker Audio is living loud. Lincoln Welders is the official welder of American Flat Track Racing. When it comes to welding, cutting equipment, and safety, Lincoln Electric is the choice. Go to LincolnElectric.com for your welding, cutting, and safety apparel needs. And remember to hashtag WeldRed with all your projects. 2 short years ago, Honda released the Rebel 1100. And for 2023, they're introducing the all-new Rebel 1100T. Equipped with a large, color-matched handlebar fairing and 35 liters of lock storage. It's built for the open road. The standard and bagger models both the powerful twin-cylinder engine, sound as aggressive as they look. Head dealer to see the 2023 Honda 1100 and 1100T.
Memphis Shades brings you a whole new level of style when it comes to motorcycle windshield fairings. The quality, style, and can set these products apart from the pack. Memphis Shades designs and builds all windshields, fairings, and hardware in-house. Raw materials in, finished goods out. In Memphis, style that works.
Sideburn is the world's finest Go Fast, Turn Left magazine. It's available to buy at Progressive AFT's Marketplace and it's the official magazine of Progressive American Track. For more information, visit SideBurnMagazine.com. SolarFit, American Solar Team, is a proud sponsor of American Flat Track Racing. Get your complimentary solar analysis today at AmericanFlatTrack.com/solar. And let the sun power your home business for free.
Introducing all new 2021 Rebel 11 from Honda.
On Saturday, April 22nd, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing returns to the Lone Star State.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with aggressive American Flat Track. The Mission Dallas Half Mile Presented by Root Systems Dallas at Full Speedway. Get tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Progressive American Track Championship season.
Kicker Performance Audio. For almost 3 years, we've been rocking the planet with our world-class product covering everything that drives you. Whether in your car, truck, boat, motorcycle, side-by-side, or even on your head. Kicker Performance Audio's passion for bringing you your favorite music like you've never heard it before is what drives us. So wherever you need us, Kicker Performance Audio will be there for you.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead. Super 73 is an American lifestyle adventure brand based in Orange County, California, that develops products to help fuse motorcycle heritage with youth culture. Founded in 2016, Super 73 has quickly grown into one of the most recognizable electric vehicle brands in the world with a passionate customer base, including A-list celebrities, professional athletes, and many more. Klotz Synthetic Lubricant is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFC national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get to the checkered flag. Order today at KlotzLube.com.
KTM, ready to race.
Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven D4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the D4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready coolant and high performance formula for street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com.
Everything we do on the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
RideNow is your Arizona Powersports headquarters. You're in the market for a newer pre-owned motorcycle, TV, or watercraft. Visit one of the 8 Arizona RideNow locations. No one carries more inventory than RideNow. Find the ride of your dreams online at RideNow.com.
Grown with water from Colorado Rockies. Pesticide-free, meticulously tested soil, carefully harvested by hand in order to develop a rich CBD formula. Using highly concentrated CBD products so you can perform a test every single time. Learn more at zocb.com.
Introducing all new 2021 Rebel 11 from Honda.
Sometimes you just don't need one of these. Sometimes all you really need is one of these. Get whatever you need from people that do whatever it takes. Go to CatReynoldsStore.com. Let's do the work.
S&S Cycle was born from a passion for racing and spent over 60 years building high performance for the power sports market. All the while, racing has remained at our core. From Bonneville Salt Flats to championships, Progressive American Flat Track. S&S is the go-to for high performance on and off the racetrack.
Tom Fine Jewelers is proud to be the official jeweler for our 10th year to Progressive American Flat Track, providing championship rings for each class in 2023. Tom Duma Fine Jewelers wants to be your jeweler. Check us out online for all your jewelry needs, from engagement rings to fashion jewelry to watches. All price points to fit everyone's budget. Shop like a pro. Shop TFJ.com. Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Back on Track, a rookie 79 501c3 charity was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers for a posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the track. Please consider supporting injured racers by purchasing a 50/50 ticket at today's event. Check us out on the web at backontrack79.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life.
Welcome back to the ZO CBD Arizona Super TT. That is sponsored by RideNow Powersports here at the Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. We're dealing with some audio issues here in the booth. We're working on that, but up here in the booth now.
Shut up! It's
in the booth now is Ralph Shaheen. Ralph, welcome out here to Phoenix.
Thanks. I was told I could come out here, the weather would be beautiful, the racing would be great, and the audio would work. So far, the weather's been great, the racing's been okay, and the audio doesn't work.
our producer's getting a little upset right now. But
what's the matter, Tree?
Our second
Tree
round
works
of
fine.
practice.
In fact, Tree is working double overtime right now. not only is he producing, he's trying to rewire the truck.
He was laying on the ground underneath the booth just a minute ago.
Yeah.
We got footage of that. Our second round of practice out here for the singles, and here they come. They're doing a practice start on top of the tabletop.
Here's one thing you know for sure. You don't want me touching any of the audio trying to fix anything.
I was wondering why you were missing in action for a while.
Nope, you don't need me doing any of that.
All right, now I know why you're back.
You don't need me working on your motorcycle or your car, and you don't need me trying to fix your audio.
So you're not a mechanic?
Not necessarily.
Not enough. Right?
Not enough.
All right.
Not enough that you want to. If you're going to be Maxwell, you don't need me tweaking on that, turning on that bike because you need it to perform at its ultimate.
So you were outside a little bit ago. Did you have a different view of Brandon Robinson's crash, or just what you could see on the screen?
All I saw was out of the corner of my eye. Saw unfortunately Brandon tumbling through the Arizona desert, and 2 weeks in a row, that's got to be getting old real fast.
Yeah, he said last week's crash hurt.
Yeah, he was telling us the hardest he's hit in a long time, right?
Time, yeah. And so Brandon, and I don't know, we couldn't see him, but coming up that jump, it reminds me of Castle Rock last year, coming out that corner and straight up a jump, and I'm thinking the back end probably stepped out.
It is definitely upsetting the rear end of the bike some. Also, this section right here, coming out of that last corner, trying to get that power to the ground, boy, is really... guys are fighting for traction there.
And it's downhill, coming out of that last corner.
And a significant downhill. You can't just tell as much on camera as when you're standing there. Where we're able to go stand and spectate, you'll see all the mechanics and team personnel standing there. It's literally just to the right of it, literally right where this camera is. I was standing next to this camera. And that drop right there is much steeper than it looks on camera.
And the face of that jump is steeper than it looks going off that camera, too. I walked up yesterday, and walking at the bottom, you couldn't see where you're going to land, So it's like, it reminded me of the Supercross jump. I mean, Supercross is a lot steeper, but still, the height and elevation change, down and then back up and then over that tabletop, it's a big to-do.
Definitely.
As well, the top spot, 2.8.272. This is another round of practice. Rounds of practice for both classes today.
How many rounds of practice are we having for audio today?
I think this whole thing is practice.
Oh, we're just having fun. No, you know what?
And his patch said this is fine. See,
no, listen.
Oh, I hear something. I hear a little scraggling.
They never get the credit they deserve. They always get picked on when things go wrong. But the crew is fantastic and extremely hardworking, just like mechanics on the race team, right? Yeah. No, but it's true. I mean, we have a little fun at our own expense when we're having a little fun, but in reality, that's the truth of things. It's amazing, really, when you think about it, that we're able to travel these trucks, these big, huge trucks, all across the country, and every week we get there. There we are. Listen to that. I hear myself. We're coming alive, see?
Is it screaming?
It's not perfect, but we're getting there.
A little bit.
You hear me?
A little bit.
There you go.
Sounds like you're a robot.
A little garbly, but we're getting there. Better than not hearing it all.
Gargly. All right, so we are working through our second round of practice. That was actually group number 1 here of the AFT Singles class. It's the Parts Limited AFT Singles sponsored by Kicker. Up next is group number 2.
3 groups of the 450s, right?
3 groups, 36 total riders. Only 32 riders will make it out of here into tonight's program. So again, still making some fine tuning over here. Yeah, there's 3 groups. They're going to come out and do a little practice start right here. Little practice start on top of the tabletop finish line jump.
There might be the best start in the whole facility right there on the top of that tabletop, Scotty, because most of the time they're flying over it.
Right, so it'll be smooth right here for the start.
Yeah.
See some of the riders letting some of the other riders go.
Blue groove showing up pretty quick all around this place right now.
Especially in turns 1 and 2, because you're coming down that landing on the tabletop, and then you're almost sliding in the corner right at that point.
And they redesigned this corner right there yesterday afternoon. Earlier, the way it was set up, they were going to be able to pretty much straight line through there a little bit. Now they made it more of a corner where you had to think about your line, maybe tap the brakes a little bit.
Flick it back and forth a little bit, maybe?
Yeah.
There's 51 Cole Zabala. That's the Big R Racing Honda. 75 right in front of him is Terran Santero. This is group number 2, second round of practice. Oh, he really flicked it back and forth right there. I like that. That was pretty cool.
And you see the bike's catching a little bit of air there, especially the back end of the bike. And I think that's what bit Brandon.
Yeah, I think so. I think the back end probably stepped out on him.
Yeah.
bike was definitely tumbling like crazy.
Audio's gonna be up in 30 seconds. I just rebooted the switch. I'm gonna take a walk. Oh, okay. I'm back up. Do you have anything? Are you getting anything from the effects mics? I'm getting that for left and right. Where's that? Where's that coming from? That's. Hold up. Let me test something real quick. Nope, don't do that. So, and check your effects mics from the A10. That's what these things are for. See how the hat is right now? It's too long. All right, we got stuff back, right? See where the bottom of the S&S is? So far. That's where the bottom of the hat is. Broadcast. So I had to crop it third time. Well, will James get that information? It's the same issue we had. It's not. I can crop it myself. Do you have headphones? Yeah, I do. They're right there. Ready, 5. Green ones. 5. Plug into the board and see if you get anything.
It's all gonna be fine.
Hello, hello. Hey, Kristen, how are you? You hear me? It's a little garbled, but can you hear me?
I'm hearing check, 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 and I do not hear you.
You don't hear me.
They want you to close your mic. Do you hear them?
I love being on.
They can't hear. They can't hear.
Listen,
back.
you're
you.
listening live to an
But you
audio
hear
fax
me.
right now. This is what happens.
I can hear you.
Yeah. You can hear me?
I can hear. No, I can hear the
Whomever.
front of the truck. I cannot hear you.
Okay. I can't hear the front.
Let's go to a commercial break. American Flat Track Mission Super Twins practice number 2. 4 laps for these guys to figure out the track and kind of get the feel for everything as we are working through a few audio issues. Mr. Scotty Duber and Al Chalene left the booth. Jared Mees taking the start there. Right behind him, Johnny Lewis on the number 10 Royal Enfield. Now Johnny, with a road racing history, should be good here, but the big question for those Royal Enfields, whether or not they have the speed to work through this track in the same way the Indian, the Yamaha, and the KTMs have proven themselves to be front runners for this Super TT race number 4 of the 2023 season. All right, here we are for American Flat Track Mission Super Twins practice number 2. Now, generally they would be qualifying at this point, but the American Flat Track Series has decided to give them an extra round of practice because, again, we are at the Super TT, a lot for these riders to adjust to. Now, looking at this practice group, we have Ryan Wells on the 94 Royal Enfield. Now, this surprised me this season. Johnny Lewis, the front man for the Royal Enfield team, the team owner, team manager, he had expressly told me, listen, we have been dealing with a parts shortage in previous seasons, and to add a team member, I asked him, why go in this direction? Well, more data to develop this bike. So while they have been having to deal with that parts deficit, they have also been able to now have a second rider on track. So they're getting more data, they're able to test more, and that should improve the performance of those Royal Enfields. Scotty, who is back in the booth with me now, and I'm so glad because I don't know how you do it by yourself.
Everybody said you're killing it. My phone was letting me know you were doing a good job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone in the Flat Track paddock is so kind.
Well, they'd love Kristen Beat.
Oh, I'm a fan of them too. All right, so we have got the 37 of Bronson Bauman out there, running 8th right now in this qualifying session. And Bronson making a team change this off-season as well, moving to the KTM. This one you were saying is called Marshmallow?
That's what they told me on the media day. I don't know if that's the official name of it, but the real bike is more of an orange with the black stripe, a typical KTM color. This one, they did have time to get it all painted up, and that might not be the finished way the body's going to end up, so they just threw the KTM sticker on that gas tank for us.
Bronson, still the TT rider as well. I remember back in 2019, he performed very well on the TTs. And this year, it wouldn't surprise me either because these KTMs, I think for the most part, KTM's marketing campaigns surround itself about being ready to race. The 450 Classic, these are ready to race bikes off the showroom floor, and they're proving themselves to be so as we look at the standings for the Super Twins practice. And Briar Bauman, of course, in the previous session, but sitting 4th there on that KTM, and Bronson also in the top 10, sitting 9th with 29.893. Now, when you look at the time disparity, the only rider on the leaderboard right now to hit 28 is Dallas Daniels. Now that surprises me. I would have expected JD Beach to be in that spot, but I mean only a couple hundredths of a second away from
and both
each
of
other.
them, both of them be really strong. You know, it's the first time that they're going to meet head to head in the premier class on a TT course. So I think both of them are going to push each other. I think you're going to expect both of those two to be on the podium today.
And they even rode together during this week, leading up to the TT along with Trevor Bruner. And a great asset and resource for Trevor Bruner in the singles class. Imagine getting to train with the top two guys on a TT in the Super Twins class during the week. That is phenomenal for him and that team, but that is going to be the matchup to watch. And then also, Jared and Pryor. Jared has been strong on the TTs, but we also know the way this schedule has played out. When I spoke to him today, this hasn't been an ideal start to the season for Jared Meese. He won at Sonoya. He got that victory, that hard-fought victory against Dallas Daniels. But, he's not satisfied with the way this schedule has been shaken down. I think coming to a track like this, obviously, for him to keep Dallas Daniels on a leash, he has to finish third today. He has to.
Yeah,
he can't allow Dallas, or JD for that matter, to run away like that.
He has to keep them both right there in front of him, if not behind him. That'd be what he would like to do, is come out here and win the race. But, JD's won the last 6 TTs in a row, so he should be up front today again. He's expected to. He's the favorite coming in.
Right, and JD is so good on the TTs, but I've also been impressed with him. I mean, on the short track, even in Sonoya, he was very good. He made it to the podium. That was racecraft that got him there as well. It wasn't because of the bike. Necessarily, the bike was almost working against him at that race, and he was able to put it on the podium there. So I think JD has been developing as a rider as well over the last 3 years, and it's making him a threat for this championship.
And they're continue to work on this racetrack. Every time that they have a break in the action, they'll put more water on the racetrack. It's going to be about 80 degrees, so it's not terribly warm like the last time we were here. I believe it was about 98 degrees, it felt like, and it was super hot. But it's not going to be that hot, but the track is, obviously, you see the water truck is already out there putting some more moisture down on this racetrack. I like the way Brad Jones called it. If you see it from up above coming from the other way, it actually looks like a bow tie.
It does. It is an awkward bow tie. It is a bow tie tied by my husband Cole. He does not tie a good bow tie. So that's a cold bow tie.
Is he playing today?
No, he's actually playing on Sunday against the Red Sox.
Okay,
so for
good.
everyone at home, if you want to watch the Baltimore Orioles against the Red Sox, he'll be pitching Sunday. So lots of prayers going up for him to have a good game there. And you're watching the American Flat Track Series presented by Progressive.
Grown with water from the Colorado Rockies. Pesticide-free, meticulously tested soil, carefully harvested by hand in order to develop our enriched CBD formula, producing highly concentrated CBD products so you can perform at your best every single time. Learn more at zoecbd.com.
RideNow is your Arizona Powersports headquarters. If you're in the market for a newer pre-owned motorcycle, UTV, or watercraft, visit one of the 8 Arizona RideNow locations. No one carries more inventory than RideNow. Find the ride of your dreams online at RideNow.com.
Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout, a cool $2,500. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com. Cometic Gasket is the official gasket of American Flat Track. For decades, American Flat Track champions have depended on Cometic to seal their engines. Cometic gaskets are the professional standard for racers who demand the very best. For more information, log on to Cometic.com. Cometic Gasket, sealing champions since 1989. Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFT national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at klotzlube.com.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors. Arai Helmet started racing in America in flat track, and we've been supporting it ever since. Arai, handcrafted with an obsessive dedication to rider protection. For more information, please visit our website, AraiAmericas.com.
Rent tools and equipment from more than 70 leading brands, plus the full line of CAT machines, big and small. The right equipment, the right technology, the right team. All right when and where you need it. Visit catrentalstore.com. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com.
This year sees Royal Enfield return for an all-new season of Build, Train, Race, and a big step forward for the Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield team. For the first time, Royal Enfield steps into the premier class for a full season of AFT racing, this time with a 2-rider team. Meet the racers and check out the machines of both of Royal Enfield's groundbreaking programs.
From the flat track to the strip to the street, it's ARP fasteners for your bike. If it's for show or for go, ARP makes the highest quality and most dependable fasteners with strength for performance and good looks. The speed demons of American flat track racing trust ARP for maximum clamping force that leads to victory lane. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com, no matter what you drive.
DCT is an automatic transmission. You heard right. The Honda DCT is a fully automatic transmission. For a motorcycle, it'll shift faster than you can, at the right time, right speed, and right RPM. And when you want to shift for yourself, use paddle shifters mounted on the left handlebar. Take a DCT demo on a new Honda Africa Twin and other available models. Schedule your DCT demo right now at Al Lamb's Dallas Honda.
Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout, a cool $2,500. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com.
If bigger is better, then bigger plus tougher plus smarter must equal something pretty special. Something like the all-new Honda Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew. This is Honda's very first crew model side-by-side, giving you more seating, more hauling, more towing. Standard hard doors and spacious legroom make entering and exiting the Pioneer 1000 Crew easy. And on the back bench, the center seat is pushed forward to optimize shoulder room and comfort. At the core of the new Crew model is a class-leading engine, paired with Honda's exclusive dual-clutch transmission, featuring a high-low sub-transmission, true engine braking, paddle shifting, and drive modes including a tow-haul mode. And since the DCT uses no belts, belt burnout will never slow you down. The auto-leveling rear suspension ensures optimal handling and comfort, even when you're fully loaded with passengers and gear, while abundant cabin storage keeps your essentials close at hand. Common sense components mean you can work smart and customize your vehicle with ease. This is the first ever Honda Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew. Built bigger, tougher, smarter, better. From Honda.
Kicker Performance Audio is your fuel for living loud and a proud sponsor of American Flat Track, the original extreme sport. Now in our 50th year, Kicker has been the world leader in audio gear for cars, trucks, motorcycles, and America's roads. Kicker Audio is living loud. Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Lincoln Welders is the official welder of American Flat Track Racing. When it comes to welding, cutting equipment, and safety apparel, Lincoln Electric is the choice. Go to LincolnElectric.com for all your welding, cutting, and safety apparel needs. And remember to hashtag WeldRed with all your projects.
All-new Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster.
To the ZO CBD Arizona Super TT, sponsored by RideNow Powersports. We are here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. Out here in Chandler, Arizona, the sun is out. We're in the desert for round number 4 of Progressive American Flat Track. So far, we've had 2 rounds of practice for both classes, the Super Twins and the Parts Unlimited AFT Singles. Up next, qualifying will begin out here. And that's important in the singles class, especially because there's 36 riders and only the fastest 32 will make it into a qualifying heat race a little bit later on. Out of those heat races, we'll take the top 6 riders to the main event. Then we'll have a last chance qualifier. We'll take the top 6 riders out of that. And that will set the field for 18 riders for the Parts Limited AFT Singles main event. All of the Super Twins riders will directly transfer to the main, so there will not be a last chance qualifier today. So there'll be 2 heat races, and all the riders will transfer. I did hear out in the pits that Brandon Robinson is done for the day. Not exactly sure the extent of the injury. He was holding his shoulder when he came off the racetrack. So hopefully he'll be all right. And we'll see him at the next race. In a couple of weeks, we'll head on down to the Devil's Bowl. April the 22nd, Mesquite, Texas, just on the east side of Dallas. Grandstands are starting to fill up right now. A lot of rubber down there in turn number 1 here on the bow tie-shaped racetrack here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park. There's some of the fans just now making their way into the grandstands. Happy April Fool's Day. Got a message earlier today says, don't trust anybody. So is that different from any other day? I don't know. There's a look at the aerial shot This is actually before we had people coming on over. This is the drone footage from yesterday, it looks like, maybe earlier today. Long front straightaway. Banked corner here going into turns 1 and 2. This is normally an off-road truck racetrack. Here they come. This is off of 2. Now they'll make another tight left-hander. We're going to call this turn number 3. A left-hander to turn number 3, then a real quick right-hander, kind of a switchback. Then up this second jump, and here comes turn 5 and 6. The final corner of the racetrack, and this will have a banked corner again, and this will be the turn number 6 right here. A hard left-hander downhill, and then straight onto that finish line tabletop jump. Beautiful racetrack. The mountains just behind us. All right, let's check in with Kristen Beat, who's been up here in the booth. Now she's outside. Kristen, you're all over the place.
I am, and we are testing everything out, getting everything ready for the Arizona Super TT. And guys, in the singles class, the KTMs have been more dominant than any other brand, with the Red Bull KTMs winning 3 out of 3 races this season. But here in the 4th race, it is Dalton Gauthier who has been the odds-on favorite in the singles class. Up until now, we haven't seen him as often. But guys, I wanted to kind of bring attention to this Privateer KTM bike. Dalton Gauthier, known for a lot of his style. We're going to get out of the way here, but the front number plate, Scotty, look at that. Look at those sparkles. What do you make of that?
He went to the he's got the bedazzled kit on there. Some sparklies. I like it. The glitter in the graphics. They can kind of express themselves a little bit more than they have in years past, so they can flash them up, put some bling on their number plates on their graphics, and make those bikes look a little bit different. So they're getting set to go. This is our first round of qualifying for the Parts Unlimited AFT singles class. Again, 36 riders, the fastest 32 out of qualifying. We'll make it into the 2 heat races later on. Look at that, Morgan Mishler doing a little stand-up racing action. It takes a full lap to get up to full speed here on this racetrack. There's the champ, Cody Kopp. 2 wins this season so far. He's our points leader coming in. He will lead him out on the 1 bike. 79, Dalton Gauthier. The 18 is Maxwell. 21, Trevor Bruner's been having a good day so far. 19 is James Ott. 88, Chase Sadoff. The 13 is Morgan Mishler. 59 is the Australian rider Tom Drain. 48, Trent Lowe. The 11 is Andrew Luker, and the 91, Justin Jones. And also out there, our Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader coming in. The 166, that's Logan Eisenhard. Those are the standings coming into today's event. That's the top 12 bikes that are on the racetrack. 3 groups of 12, makes 36. Up right there, actually pulling the front wheel, coming off the final corner, hitting this jump wide open. Throwing a little bit of a whip in the air. Trying to turn it down a little bit, get the wheels back on the ground. It's definitely hard to get the courage up to hit a jump like that wide open on a DTX style bike, but the suspension is so squatted down, it's so small, so short, that it doesn't act like a normal motocross bike. So when they land it, you can sometimes see we'll get a little head shake with their handlebars. There's a good look at the back shot. Tapping the back brake in the air like the Supercross and motocross guys do. That's the gyro effect on the rear wheel. It actually sets the front wheel down. If the front wheel's coming up, you tap that back brake, put that front wheel down. If it's going the other way, if you're front wheel heavy, as they call it, you grab a handful of throttle, get that front wheel lifted back up if you can. Maxwell's the fastest bike on the racetrack, 28.417 for Max. This is qualifying. A little bit slower than the first session here in the singles class. Track's probably getting a little bit slicker as it dries out just a little bit here in the Arizona sun. Max now Sadoff up to second, 28.471 on that last lap. Quick lap for the Illinois rider, Chase Sadoff up to second. Bruner's third, Dalton Gauthier fourth, Tom Drain, the Australian, is fifth. Cody Kopp is back there in seventh. A lot of these riders don't normally hit jumps like they're hitting here today. Kopp is now caught up to Maxwell. That might be a benefit to Kopp, who is back in seventh right now. Again, this is qualifying for your singles class. It is your Parts Unlimited AFT singles, sponsored by Kicker. My buddy Lauren is here with Kicker Performance Audio. They've got a booth set up out front. Stop by and check them out, see what they got. Woo, man. The 18 back wheel really stepped on Maxwell right there on that last lap, but it was still fast. Maxwell to the top spot on that last lap, even though the back end came out on him, a 2.8.417 for the 18 bike, and he brought up their Sadoff with him. That wasn't the last lap. Whew, I got excited for nothing. But Maxwell, I thought it was the last lap, but it wasn't. So this is coming off this final corner. Watch the back end right here. Gets off the groove and steps out a little bit. He burped the throttle, just grabbed it. And that's how you save it right there. Man, he had his hands full. I thought that was the fastest lap, but yeah, he did have his hands full for sure. Maxwell's at the top spot so far. There's 2 more groups to go here in this first round. 2.8.417. 2.8.417, fastest lap so far in the singles class in qualifying trim. Here comes group number 2. The 49, the California kid, Chad Kos is out there. 51 is Zabala. 82, Travis Pett in the 4th. 52, Shayna Texter-Bauman. 24 is Hunter Bauer. 38, Tanner Dean. 26, Aiden Roos-Evans. 55, Tyler Raggio. 63, Jared Lowe. 75, Taryn Santero. Landon Smith's on the 117. 132 is Bronson Pierce. I talked about him a little bit ago, but it's worth mentioning again. He's racing over in Europe in the Supermoto, the World Supermoto Series. He's going to race with us about 5 times this season. I think a good supermoto racer would make a good flat tracker, especially on a TT course like we have here. You see a lot of rubber going down. On supermoto, they race on pavement and on dirt. They have jumps or obstacles like we have here at the TTs. Chad Kos out in front. On the racetrack, that is, not on the leaderboard. Last time we were here back in 2019, Chad Kos finished 6th. And I talked to him earlier today. He said, I used to be one of those TT specialists, but not so much is more. All right, so we're talking about Chad Kos out there on the 49, the California kid. And Kristen, you were talking to Chad earlier today, too.
Out in Sonoya, and one thing that we kind of talked about was he had been with this First Impressions race team for half of the season last year. This is his first full season race team, and there were a lot of questions regarding why he moved from the Production Twins class back to the singles class. But for Chad Kos, he wants to win a championship. He wants to contend for a championship. Now, we haven't seen him in championship contention form yet this season, but here at the Super TT, don't count him out. He has a road racing background, and he has a chip on his shoulder. And Scotty, sometimes that motivates riders more than anything else.
Yeah, I agree, Kristen. You know, a chip on his shoulder, if somebody's counting you out or not counting you into the conversation, it kind of puts a little fuel in the fire right there to try to get him to ride a little bit harder. He's currently sitting 13th in the point standings on that 49. First Impressions Husqvarna, and that's a big move for that team to switch from Hondas to Husqvarnas, and Chad's doing what he can to prove that the Husqvarnas are good. His teammates doing a good job as well. You know, got up there, raced to the podium last week. There's the 49. Chad Kos is right there, that Husqvarna. He's currently 11th right now with a 2.8.982. His teammate James Ott right behind him in 12th. James Ott was in that first group. He's currently 5th in the point standings. And the team owner actually used to be a pro motocrosser, so a little more incentive as the red flag is out. We do have a red flag out. And there's red wheel and lights on all the way around the racetrack. From our point of view, can't see what's going on. I believe it's Tanner Dean. There goes the 38 motorcycle being pushed off, and there's Tanner. You can see the airbag suit is blown up. The shield has came off of his helmet, and he's trying to gather himself right now. He's got his Lanes World sticker on his helmet. I think they said he's looking to see if he can figure out what's going on, where he's at. Maybe he's trying to figure out our audio issues down there. I don't know, but that's the Dean machine, Tanner Dean. Rides for the Waters Auto Body KTM team. So they did take the white flag on that session, so that session is now over as the red flag came out. That was group number 2 here of our Parts Limited AFT singles. Again, 3 groups. And again, it's qualifying time, so again, the times are very important. Every time you go out there, the fastest 32 will move on to tonight's heat races, or later today's heat races. We're not racing at night out here. There's no lights this year. Tanner Dean talking it over with our trained trauma medic that goes to all the races. That's the gentleman on the left. And the airbag suit obviously has deployed. That's why he had that unzipped immediately. It's like feeling like it's all squished in on you. So unzip it, get some fresh air. It is warm out there. Hope the people that are here are drinking plenty of fluids. Stay hydrated. He'll sneak up on you. So Tanner Dean's going to get a ride back to the pits. Hopefully he'll be all right. He is currently 16th, so that's good enough to make it into the program. So hopefully he'll be all right. So we can take a look at some of the people in the crowd. I can see Graham down there in the bottom right by that mission flag. My grandmother is here. It's good to see her out here at the racetrack. This is qualifying for the singles class. 3 groups. Up next is group number 3. Ray Handy will lead him out on the 174. Hyatt will be on the 275. Scooter Vernon on the 274. Cole Fredrickson is on the 151. Ash is on the 140. It's his first pro race. 233 is Spurgeon. 106 Reese Podorf. 216 Declan Bender. 53 is Blaine Stockmagner. He hit the dirt earlier today in that first round. Hayden Gillum, the road racer and TT specialist, will be out there on a KTM number 169. Olin Kistler's on the 155 and Jacob Cassio on that 121. Some of these riders don't have any points with us so far. So we'll see how these rookies do here in their 2023 AFT season. There's a look at the stands. Again, they're just starting to fill up just a little bit as we opened up the gates just a little while ago. It's the ZOCBD Arizona Super TT, sponsored by RideNow Powersports. So another rider hits the deck, and hopefully they'll get this all worked out and get it out of their system. Get everything taken care of. And we're back in the booth. Kristen, you have been all over the place. You were just at the finish line. What are you doing back in here?
Well, we're getting ready to call qualifying. I mean, this is when things kind of shake down. We see what everyone came into this weekend with, and as I've been talking to a lot of the riders, there seems to be some contempt for this track, Scotty. They are not fans of it. Unfortunately, the way this track is developing, it's looking a little one-lined at this point, and there are some things that they feel could have made the racing better, but that is going to put an emphasis on where you start. If you were starting from the second row, this is going to be a long night for you, so that is putting an emphasis then on qualifying.
It sure is.
I'm going to pop the top on a cold.
You're having one of my Dr. Peppers?
I stole one from your fridge.
Goodness.
I'll owe you one.
You're freshly operated on. You had surgery this week, and you haven't skipped a beat. What? Did you hear that pun intended?
That was a good pun.
All right, I like that. So what'd you have surgery on?
Oh, just some stuff on my knee and got it squared away, and now we're good. So
you're a rock star. You're out there running around. I mean, you might as well put a helmet on and go race.
I would not ever consider myself qualified to do anything like that. But yeah, I told the guys, I said, listen, I just had surgery. I need to come to the booth in the air conditioning. Put me in the truck, so I'm back here, guys.
So am I going outside for the rest of the day? Is that what you're doing? You're taking
what I'm
my
saying
spot?
is I'm staying in the air conditioning the rest of the day. So if y'all don't mind, I'm going to be in here with the Dr. Pepper and some air conditioning, as I do deserve to be, because I have gotten my miles in today, which I should not be getting as many in as I've gotten.
This is a good little battle right here, and I don't know if that's a good move or not, but maybe they can push each other. But usually when 2 or 3 riders are duking it out like this, they're not putting in their fastest laps. So I think they need to get it spread out just a little bit.
Yeah.
This is actually qualifying for the Parts Unlimited AFT singles class, and there's the let's see, that's 274. That's Scooter Vernon. He used to have national numbers, 74. It's good to see him back on the circuit just a little bit. 151 is Cole Fredrickson. He finished 7th when we were here last year.
Look at the fans. Look at the fans coming out here for the Arizona Super TT. I know the last time we were here in 2019, it was a sellout crowd, and I have a feeling a lot of walk-up tickets today, a lot of folks coming in here to watch the racing. But bringing it back to what's in front of us right now, I'm not sure if he's out on track right now. Is Aiden Rear 7's out on track? We don't have a shot.
I have not seen him. He was in group number 2.
He was in group 2. Okay,
yep.
So this is group 3 right now.
Yeah.
I was able to sit next to his dad on our flight home from Sonoya, Georgia. And it was really interesting to talk to him. I guess that Aiden's been kind of toying around with the idea of going to a super twin, which might be exciting to see down the road, just more competition in that class as well, because it is deep in the singles class.
And Aiden's raced a long time. He started when he was a little kid, and then he was dominant as a little kid at the Amateur Nationals, the Flat Track Grand Championships. Watch this replay right here. We'll get back to Ruth Evans, the story on him, but watch the back ends kind of step out right about here. They get sideways, and look like he pushed the front end, and that caused the back end to kind of chase along with it. So that was the 151 of Cole Fredrickson. Again, who finished 7th here last time we were here back in 2019. But more on Ruth Evans. He was a little kid, raced mini bikes, won some mini bike championships at the Flat Track Grand Championships. Oh man, the back end was really coming around on Fredrickson right there. But he left and raced sprint cars, mini sprint cars, and some even almost like a smaller ARCA car.
Now let's watch this Super TT.
Man.
Just claiming names, just taking names all day.
Good. That was a good save right there. If he would have chopped the throttle, he would have probably high-sided, but you have to leave the throttle on, maybe let off a little bit at a time, but that was a good save by Cole Fredrickson right there on the 151. And that is it for our first round of qualifying for your Parts Limited AFT singles class. Maxwell at the top spot, 28.417. Are you surprised at that, Kristen?
I think when we had this conversation earlier, we were picking names, and I said Dalton Gauthier is going to be up there. I'm surprised that he's in 4th, to be honest. But Maxwell, I think Maxwell was in the conversation. Chase Sadoff may be a little more surprising to me, honestly. But those Hondas on a track like this, not surprised. But isn't that cool? KTM, Honda, and Yamaha. A little parity in the singles
Three
class.
brands, the top 3 spots. Cody Kopp back there in 7th is going to have to find some speed before we get into our qualifying heat races. And when heat race time comes around, it's time to step it up. And it's a whole different ballgame than go out there qualifying. It's hard to get pumped up for qualifying. It really is. So looks like we got Super Twins on the racetrack for their first round of qualifying. Leader pulls out of the way. That's the 32 Dallas Daniels. Again, they come out according to their point standings. Daniels, Jared Meese, Brandon Robinson is a scratch for the rest of the day. 95, J.D. Beach. 67, Davis Fisher. The 3 is Briar Bauman. The 20, Jared Vanderkoy. And the 10, right there in the Royal Infield, that is Johnny Lewis. And he's a good TT rider. He's a good all-around rider.
An excellent coach and racer, and that's why whenever we talk about Moto Anatomy, the school that he works with, that he owns, he knows how to explain it in a way that is so digestible and absorbable to his students. And I think on a different bike, Johnny could easily be a threat for a championship in this Super Twins class. But he has made it a point. Watch his rear end just kind of step out just a little bit there. Scotty, is that because the track is slick, or is it because the way he entered the turn?
It's very slick. It's a dry slick right there, and you can see some of the braking bumps. That'll be a factor in it too. But when that back end and you're on the throttle and you just have too much horsepower, the back end will step out just a little bit, like come out sideways and out of line with the front.
Well, it almost looks like there's parts of the track that are chunking out too, and that's going to happen when the line starts to develop and it's almost getting overused, but there's not as much moisture in the track to keep it together. It's going to kind of get those chunks coming out of it.
Yeah, and mostly that happens when you're on the gas. Okay, so we got a note from the race control that JD's really airing it out over that tabletop finish line jump.
He's actually clearing it, and that is the first time I've seen a rider clear that today. I mean, we've been close, and everyone's been kind of clipping the end, and that's fine, but let's go ahead and watch JD. He's the only rider doing this. There's a lot of momentum going in off the start. He gets really small, then moves further forward, back on the bike, and then further forward to kind of get it to land appropriately. So that is so impressive what he's doing there. All the body language on the bike.
And pretty smooth right now. He's up to 2nd place on the speed charts with a 29.045. His teammate Dallas Daniels at the top spot.
He is clearing it though. I mean, when we get that front angle, you can really see the difference between him and a rider like JD Beach. I would love to get that again as they all 3 kind of go over that
so we can compare it.
So we can compare where he is actually landing and how much more efficient he is on that landing, just because you can tell that Jared Meese, the rear tire is kind of touching just seconds before in space before.
The white flag is out there. You see Johnny Lewis just about made it.
But JD Beach is really clearing that.
And look how much he closed in on those 2 guys in front of him, because he went over the jump and landed smoother.
And it's almost like he's absorbing the bike into him to then push it down. And you'll see a lot of guys in Supercross even at times when they're when they can't scrub a jump or when they're in a rhythm section, you'll see them kind of absorb the bike into themselves and then allow it to land. And it puts them in a position where they can easily land with the bike and not have it be painful.
By absorbing it with their body, that means they're absorbing it with their shoulders, with their elbows, and a lot with their knees.
A lot with their knees, and JD Beach will actually race a bike with grip on the side. Dallas Daniels chooses not to, but he'll actually put grip. It's like a sticky grip pad. He'll use it for surfboards or skateboards, but he puts it on the side of his gas tank right there, and it allows him to get that grip with his knees further forward on the gas tank.
It's kind of sticky?
It's
almost
like sticky, but it's not gluey. It's like a plastic material, and people will use it as like a grip pad on a surfboard. They actually use that same exact material on the side of the bike.
Okay. I thought it was like a grip tape, but that would actually that would not work. That'd be too much grip. Yeah, and wear out your leathers too.
I mean, I'm trying to think of it in a way where someone at home could.
How about like
a shower, the
shower pad?
Like a shower pad. It's just like that, but they cut it out, sticks to the side of the bike, it gives them a little grip and a little texture.
So much insight from Kristen B. And the 37 Bronson having an issue right here. He's looking down at his left foot, which that's the shifter area. There's the 25, had an excellent week going, just didn't get the results he was looking for. It's the Holly Hot Rod Ben Lau on the 25. Also out there in this group too, 37 Bronson Bauman, 36 Colby Carlisle, 94 Ryan Wells, 61 Casey Sisko, 45 Shelby Miller, 50s Jimmy McAllister, and 46 Andy DeBrino, moving his super hooligan bike into the Super Twins class at the Super TT.
Now listen, if you're Dallas Daniels and you're in this position right now, fastest qualifier out on track, you really put a burner on.
Mm-hmm.
And you're Jared Mees then looking at that is not what you want to see, because at a race like this, when you could consider JD Beach as a plausible winner here,
right,
and you're trying to limit the amount of points that Dallas Daniels is able to gain on you, this is not the leaderboard you want to see right now.
Not for Jared Mees. It looks good for the Estenson Yamaha team. Tim Estenson lives out here. It's good hometown cooking, in their class. But Jared Mees is definitely got to be back there shaking his head. I'm sure he's talking to Jimmy Wood, Kenny Tolbert, trying to figure out what they can do, how they can. We got a rider down right here in front of Andy DeBrino. The 45 is Shelby Miller. So far, it's just yellow flag until the red flag comes out. In flat track, we race until we see a red or a yellow. Shelby's picking up his motorcycle.
Good shot of the track, though, here, Scotty. Now, the line's outside of the main groove. Is that guys just trying things out, or guys getting a little squirrely?
Maybe get in the corner a little bit too hot and overcooking turns 1 and 2. And I don't think it's definitely not the fastest way around. I know later on when we have the open paddock area, actually, yeah, we do have an open paddock area. When they have that, maybe they'll be able to blow that off a little bit and put some more moisture down, and hopefully that will maybe create a wider racing line out there.
Well, and even at night when the moisture starts to come up, but we won't be racing at a time where that moisture would generally rise. When we raced here in 2019, that moisture came up and the track got better as the night went on.
Right.
We are racing in the middle of the day today.
We're scheduled to have that last main event on the racetrack at 5 o'clock. If we stay on schedule, and that's when the sun is getting behind the grandstands a little bit, but it'll still be pretty intense out there. Look at Colby Carlisle looking at the times right now. He's sitting currently 9th quick out of the 14 bikes that have taken the racetrack.
Yeah.
Bronson did not complete that lap. This may be a chance for Bronson if he can get that bike over here. It looked like maybe having an issue with the starter shaft, and looks like Steve Morehead's given Shelby Miller a pushback on the 45. He's currently 11th right now. So, again, all the Super Twins riders will qualify into the main event. But, again, you've got to get a good qualifying spot to get a good heat race. Yeah, just to get a good starting spot in the heat race, which will get you a good, hopefully, finishing spot in your heat race to give you a good starting spot in your main.
I don't see this being a track where we're going to see a lot of passing. Generally, when the off-road trucks race here, and by the way, my brother, I don't know if he's at home watching, but he's raced on this track before. Great track for passing, great track for the off-road trucks. But here with the American Flat Track Series, the grip is on that main line, so we may not see as much passing. So it is going to put that emphasis on qualifying. And what I love about Colby Carlisle, looking at the 36 right now in that G&G racing team, G&G could have rode off into the sunset last year. I mean, they had 2 championships in the production twins class with Corey Texter.
So I just got to talk about the Beat family a little bit. Your dad, was he a race car driver, right?
Well, he used to toy around. He raced sprint cars for a little bit, and he raced...
Yeah, that's the real deal.
Like, if you're in a sprint car, you're not trying to
sprint car's real.
He did the midget cars, and he did a little bit of 2-wheel racing. So I come from a racing family, and then my brother raced motocross and supercross And then now he races off-road trucks and builds and develops those trucks and owns a team in the off-road racing series, which he's done so well. And I think a lot of people would assume, like, oh, she's from one of those racing families. No, like, we are a family from El Cajon, California. Yep. And everyone has kind of worked their way into the positions they're in, which is very proud of my brother. But yes, he raced off-road trucks here. But this track is not racing the same way it does with those big trucks on it.
Definitely. Well, you can, when the big trucks are out here, they have 4 tires. They're wide. You can put a lot more moisture. You can turn the dirt up. Here, our flat track bikes, so you need it more packed in, more tight. And so it's making for a dry slick. There's a couple of bumps right there. We see Colby Carlisle and the G&G Racing Yamaha getting through those bumps and getting that foot back on the foot peg as soon as he can right there on that 36 bike. Take a look at these bumps one more time. Look at this replay. This is actually turn number 3 where they duck into the infield. Watch the tires.
Yeah, the track is starting to come up in those sections, and I'm curious if riders will try to avoid them later on in the night. Obviously, it's the fast line right now for qualifying. You have to run it, but
right. Well, it's also a part of the track where the trucks don't normally run right there. We've created that new line to go through there. There was standing water there yesterday when I was here. They had so much rain out here that there was some standing water. So the track, they made some adjustments to the racetrack before they got on the racetrack today.
Yeah, and a lot of questions about the length of this track. I was able to clarify it is 0.4 of a mile. So it may seem long. It feels long when you're watching it, but it is actually only 0.4 of a mile. So it's shorter than a half mile, just a few turns, 6 turns to be exact, 2 jumps on 0.4 of a mile. Can you imagine? There's a lot happening.
There's a lot going on. And that brings up a good point, Kristen. When do you take a breath? You almost have
over the jumps.
You almost have to force yourself to remember to breathe.
And that is so important. But I actually asked that exact question to a few riders because it seemed busy. You'll talk about Supercross tracks being busy, and this one is certainly busy for these riders compared to what they are used to. Those breathing sections are going to be over the jumps for these riders. Maybe not if you're JD Beach, because it does seem like he's exerting a lot of body language on the bike there. But for the most part, for riders, that's a moment to breathe, reset, find your posture, find your position on the bike, and then get back to it.
Right there. It looked like the pipe almost drug on that right-hander on the 94 of Ryan Wells. He's also on the Moto Anatomy X-Powered Royal Enfield. They're laying them that far over in that right-hander. That's pretty impressive.
And that is the wild part about how these bikes are set up for a TT and how different they are than the average flat track setup. And they are bringing the same suspension package into it, but their suspension is the disparity between the suspension that a rider on a motocross track or supercross track would ride to the flat track suspension is much lower. So these flat track bikes being that much lower is something they'll have to be, cautious of, especially in the Super Twins class.
Right, and also flat track bikes, typically the left foot peg is up higher than the right foot peg.
Right.
And so when you come to a TT course, you have to lower that back down. So you want your feet to be even when you're hitting those jumps. So maybe when they lean over pretty far to that right-hander, maybe the right foot peg will start dragging a little bit. And it's hard to move both of them up.
Getting used to these bikes and setups that are required to run well at a TT. Huge learning curve for the entire paddock today.
And a lot of the riders don't like jumping. They will admit it to you. They do not like jumping. Some riders do.
There are some like Dallas Daniels, even having a front brake. Dallas Daniels says to me today, I would run a front brake at every race if I could. He loves it.
So we're getting a question from the other side of the truck. I'm not going to say it's the front or the back because we're still arguing over that. But
this is the front.
I believe so. So I'm glad you got my side. The talent side is this side. Where all the magic happens, the other side. But they're asking if this is what we're going to get for the rest of the day. So as far as the track goes, and I don't know if it was going to wide out a whole bunch. There's Steve Moorhead out there. They're going to try to put as much moisture as they can on the racetrack. But
they want it to.
Yes.
The riders want it to be wider. And the crazy thing is this track is very wide. It is 80 feet in some sections. However, I don't see it changing a lot. I think that the way the lines are developing and what we've seen in the past from this track, and especially with when we are racing today, I don't anticipate this track to be a multi-line track like what we saw in Sonoya, which was a barn burner.
But there's quite a bit of rubber right there. I think they could go side by side, but they're really sliding into the corner just past where they land. You can see how much rubber's down way back there by the finish of that tabletop jump.
I mean, they could, if they want to
get risky in that way. But see, if you're on the outside of that line, that makes it really hard to cut back inside. That may be what guys are trying out when we see those white lines on the very outside. They were probably trying to see how high can I get on this groove without blowing it. And right here in this little section going into that first turn, I mean, that is where you could definitely blow it, and then you're losing a lot of time. So risk versus reward here tonight. If you really need to make the pass and you think you can not only make the pass but clear it within that small stretch, maybe. But it's generally the stretches take a pretty long time to execute.
And people from home were just letting me know that they like what you brought, a 0.4 of a mile. They said the track looks a lot longer and bigger than that on TV at home on fanschoice.tv. So that's Todd Lanham, who's the flagman for the Steve Nace Racing Series. But, you know, there's a lot to it, and they're going to keep working on the racetrack. Hopefully the lines will get wider. And so while they're watering the racetrack, we're going to go to break. When we come back, round number 2 of qualifying here from the ZO CBD Arizona Super TT, sponsored by RideNow Powersports. We'll be right back.
On Saturday, May 13th, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing returns to the legendary Sacramento Mine.
Oh, boy, right up the inside. He certainly felt that.
Meet your favorite riders. A showdown of epic proportions. This is Progressive American Flat Track. The legendary Sacramento Mine. Saturday, May 13th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Morgan's Place is a non-profit campground guiding full recovery from injury. Morgan Monroe was injured while racing in 2016 and began the organization to spread hope that healing is possible. For more information or to get involved, please visit their website, morgansplace.org.
Grown with water from the Colorado Rockies. Pesticide-free, meticulously tested soil, carefully harvested by hand in order to develop our enriched CBD formula, producing highly concentrated CBD products so you can perform at your best every single time. Learn more at zoecbd.com.
Did you hear that? No. There's a band back there.
Kicker Performance Audio. For almost 50 years, we've been rocking the planet with our world-class product covering everything that drives you, whether in your car, truck, boat, motorcycle, side-by-side, or even on your head. Kicker Performance Audio's passion for bringing you your favorite music like you've never heard it before is what drives us. So wherever you need us, Kicker Performance Audio will be there for you.
Riders, let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Deny.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Can't hear, Brian.
Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods, a proud sponsor of AFT Super Twins. Mission Foods has mouth-watering snacks and easy-to-make recipes to fuel your race day. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
From the flat track to the strip to the street, it's ARP fasteners for your bike. The speed demons of American flat track racing trust ARP. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
Memphis Shades brings you a whole new level of style when it comes to motorcycle windshields and fairings. The quality, style, and selection set these products apart from the pack. Memphis Shades designs and builds all windshields, fairings, and hardware in-house. Raw materials in, finished goods out. Made in Memphis. Style that works.
Super 73 is an American lifestyle adventure brand based in Orange County, California, that develops products to help fuse motorcycle heritage with youth culture. Founded in 2016, Super 73 has quickly grown into one of the most recognizable electric vehicle brands in the world with a passionate customer base, including A-list celebrities, professional athletes, and many more. 2 short years ago, Honda released the Rebel 1100, and for 2023, they're introducing the all-new Rebel 1100T, equipped with a large, color-matched handlebar-mounted fairing and 35 liters of lockable storage. It's built for the open road. The standard and bagger models both start with a powerful twin-cylinder engine, so they sound as aggressive as they look. Head to a dealer to see the 2023 Honda Rebel 1100 and 1100T. Sideburn is the world's finest Go Fast, Turn Left magazine. It's available to buy at Progressive AFT's Marketplace and is the official magazine of Progressive American Flat Track. For more information, visit sideburnmagazine.com. SolarFit, America's solar team, is a proud sponsor of American Flat Track Racing. Get your complimentary solar analysis today at americanflattrack.com/solarfit. And let the sun power your home or business for free. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com.
Rev up to get fueled by Mission as the world's most extreme dirt track riders and tastiest products come together to fuel your flavor. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
From the flat track to the strip to the street, it's ARP fasteners for your bike. If it's for show or for go, ARP makes the highest quality and most dependable fasteners with strength for performance and good looks. The speed demons of American flat track racing trust ARP for maximum clamping force that leads to victory lane. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com, no matter what you drive.
We're the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers. We understand the challenges riders face every day. As riders, we want to share the road and be seen by motorists. Remaining visible is critical to our safety and well-being. That's why we work tirelessly to promote motorcycle safety and awareness. We're proud to support our community that includes riders of all stripes. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
On Saturday, April 22nd, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing returns to the Lone Star State.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with Progressive American Flat Track. The Mission Dallas Half Mile, presented by Roof Systems Dallas at Devil's Bowl Speedway. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Welcome back to the ZO CBD Arizona Super TT, sponsored by RideNow Powersports. I'm Scotty Dubler, and joining me in the booth again is Ralph Shaheen. Ralph, what's been going on outside?
Well, everybody's just making their adjustments, enjoying the weather. Beautiful day out there. It's warm. Certainly warm with your leathers on, but not too bad if you're just enjoying the day. It's going to be a good day racing, I think.
I think so, too. I'm right there with you. It sounds like everybody's getting dialed in. Dallas Daniels at the top spot so far in Super Twins. Are you surprised at that at all?
No.
Me neither. He
No,
looks
not at
good.
all. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Dallas or JD Beach at the top at all.
Yeah, JD's second fast, Jared Meese third. Johnny Lewis looks pretty good on that Royal Enfield.
In fact, I was pretty sure the top three were going to be on the podium. Not sure which order, but those three names would be there.
Yeah, definitely, and you got to throw
Coming into the weekend.
Johnny Lewis up there looks really good on that Royal Enfield. Jared Vandekoy fifth. Breyer's back there in sixth right now, and again, they're still getting that brand new bike dialed in.
Yeah, watching the guys out there, the way they were approaching it, Dallas seems very smooth through that last corner, getting the power on, going down the hill to the big ski jump, if you will. And that's where he seems, that's obviously going to be a very tricky part of the course here today, getting that traction over there. JD is coming through there, and then he's grabbing a gear as he's going down the hill, and that seems to be making a difference for him.
And he's really airing it out over that jump.
Yeah, and there's different theories on that, right? Some guys just love to fly the bike,
Right.
and other guys, if you go back to the James Stewart concept of the Bubba Scrub, you can't go quicker when you're in the air. The quicker you get back to the ground, the faster you go.
Get back on that
Get back
throttle.
on that throttle. Get that tire turning.
Let's look at the point standings just a little bit coming in. It's Dallas Daniels with 71 points. He is our points leader. Second, Jared Mason. Brandon Robinson is done for the day. He's currently third. So JD Beach has a good opportunity if he can win or finish second to at least hop over Robinson. You got Davis Fisher back there in fifth.
Yeah, JD really needs to take advantage of the opportunity with the door cracking open from Brandon today, which is unfortunate. Brandon can certainly get back to speed on things at Ventura and Sacramento and at Devil's Bowl coming up.
Yeah, Devil's Bowl is coming up April the 22nd down there just outside of Dallas. But, yeah, Dallas, man, what can you say about this kid? This is his second full season, and he's not intimidated by racing with any of these guys.
Did you think he would be?
No, I didn't, but it's
a different breed, isn't it?
It is a different breed, and it's a different mentality to come out here. Like, he got used to winning in the singles class, and he's already started off this year with 2 wins. He got 2 wins last year, so he's already won 4 in his very young career.
He has been on everybody's radar for so many years now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's never disappointed at any level that he's come up through, has he?
No, he's proven what he's made of. And look at this, they're dragging that tire stack around the racetrack to hopefully try to widen out that groove a little bit, maybe smooth it out as well when they put the water down and drag the looser dirt maybe off of the racing line and try to widen up that groove just a little bit if they can. That'll make for some better racing. So they're spending some extra time right now before our final round of qualifying to try to and hopefully make this track a little bit wider in especially some of these tight one-line areas.
And we need to get your Harley, what do you call it, Harley?
The Harley rake.
Harley rake. Get the Harley rake back out there.
I don't know if the Harley rake would help out right now because I think it's too dry and the dirt isn't the good dirt that would make it. The Harley rake will turn stuff up, but I don't know if it turn it up and then we'd have to pack it back in. And
yeah.
I don't think there's time and with this sun beating down on the racetrack, drying it out. That's what they're trying to do right here is trying to widen out that groove just a little bit. You see they got the air blowers, the leaf blowers out there to blow the loose stuff back off. So they're trying to put some more rubber down out here for you race fans and for the racers. There's Brian Smith right there, the former number 42. All right, while Brian Smith's out there blowing off the racetrack, we'll take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to have the second round of qualifying right here in the Arizona Super TT.
The world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing returns to the Lone Star State.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with Progressive American Flat Track. The Mission Dallas Half Mile, presented by Roof Systems Dallas at Devil's Bowl Speedway. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
DCT is an automatic transmission. You heard right. The Honda DCT is a fully automatic transmission. For a motorcycle, it'll shift faster than you can, at the right time, right speed, and right RPM. And when you want to shift for yourself, use paddle shifters mounted on the left handlebar. Take a DCT demo on a new Honda Africa Twin and other available models. Schedule your DCT demo right now at Al Lamb's Dallas Honda.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
There it is, dude.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors.
Brought to you by Yamaha. On the track, on the trail, or out on the open road. Check out Yamaha's full line of class-defining, adventure-seeking motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-side vehicles at YamahaMotorsports.com. Cometic Gasket is the official gasket of American Flat Track. For decades, American Flat Track champions have depended on Cometic to seal their engines. Cometic gaskets are the professional standard for racers who demand the very best. For more information, log on to Cometic.com. Cometic Gasket, sealing champions since 1989. Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFT national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at KlotzLube.com.
Drag Specialties welcomes race fans. At Drag Specialties, our commitment to riding is a way of life. That's why we want to remind you that when you're ready to tackle maintenance or add performance and style to your ride, make your first stop a local dealer who stocks products from Drag Specialties. Drag Specialties. Enjoy the races.
This year sees Royal Enfield return for an all-new season of Build, Train, Race, and a big step forward for the Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield team. For the first time, Royal Enfield steps into the premier class for a full season of AFT racing, this time with a 2-rider team. Meet the racers and check out the machines of both of Royal Enfield's groundbreaking programs.
And welcome back to the ZO CBD Arizona Super TT, sponsored by RideNow Powersports. It is qualifying round number 2. Some of these riders might be the last time you see them here today because only the fastest 32 move on to the heat races later on this afternoon. Out front, T-Money. Trevor Bruner on the 21, doing it for Estenson Racing. Got the 2 Red Bull KTMs chasing them down right behind. 1 is Cody Kopp, 79 Dalton Gauthier, 18 Maxwell, 19 James Ott, 88 Chase Sadoff, 13 Morgan Mishler, 59 Tom Drain, 48 Trent Lowe, 11 Andrew Luker, 91 Justin Jones, and the rookie, 166 Logan Eisenhard. Final round of qualifying, look at Bruner, all the way over the jump. Maxwell landed on the jump and landed sitting down on the seat. That didn't look very comfortable. They'll get it figured out. Look at Max trying the edge of the line right there, going around those bumps. I like that line that Max just used right there. Looked pretty smooth. Sadoff goes to the top spot here on this very first lap.
Well, you know, when it comes to bumps and you talk to racers about it, it could be a big chunk taken out of the hole. It'll be a hole in the racetrack, or it could be a serious bump of some sort of braking bump or whatever it might be. You either go through it or go around it, right? Yes. You have no choice. It's one of the two. It really comes down to how your bike or car is handling it that particular time.
And if you're going to go through it, I think try to go through it straight and not go through it with the back end sticking out a little bit, because that will make the back end come out easier. So, again, two different lines. Just like Ralph said, Trevor Bruno looked like he went right through those bumps. Maxwell looks like he went around those bumps. I'm talking about in turn number 2, especially when they duck back into the infield section of the racetrack. And watch Max. Oh, now Max gets out of the way. Just as I was getting ready to talk about Max, he's going to let everybody go on by. So he doesn't want to go up there and push the issue any longer. And here now, 79 Cody Kopp will take a look back. There's the one. And now he misses the corner right there. 88 says thank you very much. Sadoff goes on by. Trevor Bruner to the head of the class. 2:8.312. 2:8.3. That is the fastest lap we have seen. Actually, no, it's not. 2:8.1 was the fastest earlier when they on a brand new fresh racetrack, but that was faster than round number 1 of qualifying. It was Maxwell. So 2:8.25 is Bruner.
There he is. Chase Sadoff on that 88.
No, and he catches that one bump right there. Now he's flipping the thing back and forth.
But that's going to be fun to watch, isn't it? Because the way those bumps are in there, it's really going to get those bikes out of shape. And some guys are going to catch that and some guys aren't. That can make a real difference come race time.
Yeah, and I think those bumps will get deeper possibly, so we'll watch and see how these bikes...
Yeah, they never get better, right?
Exactly.
Watch right through here. Imagine if this is the last lap of the race, Sadoff has the lead, and he gets dealt this card right here.
It actually put all the weight up on that front wheel, like it really popped that back end up, and that just upset him upset the suspension for a good 20 feet.
Yeah, and if you're right there with him, battling for the win,
you got to let off.
That's where you can make something happen.
You either have to let off and stay behind him, or try to go through and make another way around him. So Trevor Bruner at the top spot. We have 2 more groups to go here in this second and final round of qualifying for your AFT singles. It's Bruner at the top spot, Maxwell in second in this round, Dalton Gauthier third, Chase Sadoff fourth, Tom Durant, the Australian, is fifth. The sleeper back there, Trent Lowe's in 6th, Morgan Mishler 7th, Justin Jones, Cody Kopp off the pace in this one back in 9th.
How about James Ott? How much momentum did he bring into this weekend after that tremendous race a week ago in Sonoya?
A career best finish for him last weekend. He's got to be feeling really good about it, but he's back there in the 10th spot right now. Maybe doesn't quite feel comfortable on this TT race course. Group 2 rolling onto the racetrack here in the singles. 49 Chad Coast, 51 is Zabala, 82 is Travis Pett in the 4th, 52 Shane Texter Bauman, 24 Hunter Bauer, 38 Tanner Dean went down in that last round, 26 Aiden Roos, 55 is Raggio, 63 Jared Lowe, 75 Santero, 117 Smith, and the 132 is Bronson Pierce. In the fastest 32 move into the heat races after the second round of qualifying is all done. And that is the fastest lap from the first round or the second round. Chad Coast really airing it out. So is the 51 of Zabala.
So how would you approach that big tabletop? Would you air it out or would you bubble scrub it? Obviously you don't scrub it here in flat track, but you know what I'm saying.
I think you have to air it out. If the suspension can hold and you feel comfortable on your motorcycle, I think you have to air it out. That way it can stay wide open all the way up to the jump and carry the momentum. Yes, you want to get those wheels down as fast as you can, but if you let off going up to the top of the jump, I think that's too slow.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I don't think you want to let off at all.
Well, and then if you let off, you got a chance of somebody behind you run into you, so it's part of racing, but it's no guts, no glory. Let it all hang out,
Did you enjoy flying your motorcycle?
I did.
When you ran in Peoria, for example?
I loved it, and I think part of it too is I raced motocross before I went to flat track, and so it didn't bother me as much. Yeah, a Rotax to me wasn't fun to jump, but it didn't bother me. It was especially when you landed and you get a little head shake, but you just had to power through it and power out of it. So.
Did you get a lot more respect for Evel Knievel when you were in that Rotax?
Yeah, because that's just a not very heavy bike. It's definitely heavier than these 450s, but yeah, I mean, just to watch Evel Knievel on a big twin.
There you go. Look at that. Look at Coast flying that thing.
Really airing it out. And And Coast used to be a supermoto guy. He's not afraid to jump anything, so he's looking pretty strong in that 49. He's up to 4th here in this second round of qualifying on his first impressions Husqvarna 28.665.
TT is very similar to when you hear guys in car racing talk about racing in the rain. Or same thing when you road race a motorcycle in the rain. Some people love it and thrive on the challenge, and other people wake up in the morning of the hotel, look out the window, see the rain clouds, and they're done.
They want to go home.
They're done before they even get on the bike, right?
And you might as well park the thing. You're not going to run up front if you're that out of it mentally.
Well, listen, Jeff Emig used to tell me all the time that he would tell his mechanic, J-Bone, Jeremy Albrecht, they'd go to a Supercross event, they'd walk out on the track walk, he'd take one look at the whoops, and depending on how the whoops were,
that was it.
There were times he said I literally told J-Bone, go ahead, load it up. No sense.
But you can't.
He would run, obviously,
right.
But in his mind, mentally, he's already done.
You know who's
it's just the way it is.
You know who's one of my favorite guys to watch in the whoops? Denny Stevenson.
Devo.
Man, until he had that wild get off at the Oklahoma City Supercross in some whoops, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was so much fun to watch in the whoops.
You know who's one of my favorite people to hang out with? Denny Stevenson.
There you go.
And Brad Jones.
And Brad Jones, yeah. You can't count
In
out
fact,
the tree.
if I had Brad Jones and Denny Stevenson together in the same night, that'd be an all-nighter.
Yeah, we'd have to stay awake the whole time.
Oh, Denny.
Laughing.
Oh, my gosh. That first year doing Supercross with him, I never laughed so hard in my entire life. I mean, he's truly one of the funniest human beings I know.
Yeah, he's a clown.
And not joke teller, just funny.
Just goofy, yeah.
Just funny.
Being goofy. Look at that. I see one of those guys just signaling you got 4th. He's showing Chad Coast 4th in this round. 28.665. Yamaha, KTM, and Husqvarna, your top 4 spots here in this second round.
And there's Shane on the 52.
She's back in 21st. That's good enough to make it into the heat races so far. There's one more group to go. Bruner at the top spot, 28.25. Maxwell, Dalton Gauthier, Chad Coast, Chase Sadoff, an impressive run so far up to 5th. Zabala, Tom Drain, Trent Lowe, Morgan Michelin, and Justin Jones. That's your top 10 in this second round. That's not combined, but that is how they look so far. One more group to go. They're rolling on to the racetrack. What are you laughing? You're still laughing at Denny.
I'm thinking of Denny's stories now, and I'm just cracking up.
Yep.
God love him. He's a great guy.
Final group of your Parts Limited AFT singles for qualifying. Ray Handy on the 174. Hyatt's on the 275. Scooter Vernon, 274. Frederickson, the 151.
How many different TTs did you run? Did you ever run Ascot?
I never did. I'm not that old.
I was going to say you just missed that, didn't you?
Yeah, I never ran Ascot. I think the only one I raced
Peoria,
on the Grand National level was Peoria. Well, maybe Springfield TT.
Springfield TT.
Yeah, that was back when it was a part of the circuit. Now they sometimes, watch out! Man, the 274 got in there a little bit hot trying to get by Handy. Handy actually talked Scooter Vernon into racing.
That's great control.
Yep, 274, 174. Remember, Handy's the one that you found at Castle Rock with the gold chain on his leathers?
Yeah.
That's him in second.
Looks like he's got it on here today, too.
Oh, yeah, he does. And the dog is here. The dog's the team owner. So watch the 274. He's just on the edge of the groove and letting it all hang out, and that opens up the door for scooters. So when you grab a handful and that loose, powdery stuff just off the groove, that back end's going to step out just like that.
I think that's one of the things I love the most about motorcycle racing is that you can see all of that so well.
Ooh.
And you get to see the art of the rider controlling the machine at the limit, either under acceleration or under braking in the different conditions, and it's just spectacular when you get to see the rider really working and excelling at it.
That was Steinwagner while you were talking, Ralph, that kind of missed the turn, went between the hay bales, and then kind of came back to it. So watch the, the third bike. He gets in a little bit too hot, and then you have to sit up straight and try to miss the hay bales, and then he's going to try to stop and come back.
There's that moment where okay, got it, don't got it. When you realize don't got it, now it's like, how do I survive it?
And how do you not hit the hay bales or find something else that's in the way? And he did an excellent job. That Steinwagner, he's had a rough day. He actually, the chain came off the motorcycle going into turn 1, end up in the air fence and the hay bales over there, and so he's had a quite eventful day so far. The 53.
That's not confidence inspiring at
all,
is it?
So he's on the struggle bus a little bit. He's right now 27th here in this round, so he's right now quick enough to make it in if they go off the times right here. But again, they go off the combined times. Hayden Gillum out there, the 169, jumps all the way up to 5th place on his KTM. We just saw him race in the Daytona 200. He raced in the Mission Bagger class, and now he's here with us doing a little TT action.
Hayden can ride just about anything these days, can he?
He definitely can. Number 169. We're watching Steinwagner on that 53.
Very talented rider, Hayden Gillum.
Yes, for sure. And they'll combine the times when we get all done with this. We'll figure out who the Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award winner will be, too. Right now, unofficially, it's the 21 of Bruner. He was fastest in this second round, which looks like he's faster than the first round. And how about a tip of the cap to the 140, Blake Ash. This is his first AFT race. He's up there 18th fastest here in this round. Pretty good.
That's great.
They actually gave me a hat to load iCyclable. It says Holland Ash.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Checker flag is out from Big PR Flagman. Hayden's up there in that fifth spot, 28.766. And that's going to be it for all of our qualifying for your AFT singles. So, again, unofficially, it's the 21. Trevor Bruner, 28.25. Quick time here in this second round was faster than the first round, which was Maxwell at 28.417. So the track got a little bit faster. Maybe when they drug the tires out there, put some more rubber down, maybe got a little bit faster. So you got Yamaha, Bruner, Maxwell, Dalton Gauthier, both on KTMs. Then you got the Husky of Chad Coast in fourth, and there's Hayden Gillum in fifth. Any surprises? Where's the one bike?
I was just going to say my big surprise is that Cody Kopp is not in that group. He's all the way back in 12th. That's shocking.
Yeah, we'll have to see, and maybe they made some changes for the racetrack, and maybe they went the wrong way. So
he told me he rode a lot of moto this offseason, and he did a little TT testing while they were down in Florida, kind of getting ready for this.
So we'll see.
You know, with 4 TTs on the schedule this year, 4.
That's a lot.
You better have your act figured out.
Well,
you might not have to win any of the 4, but you can't afford to come out and have 4 bad performances.
You have to get max points, as many as you can. So it definitely would help if you're a good TT rider, and now I think you have to be. I think you have to start practicing more on these motorcycles on TT courses. I know the motocross bikes help, but I think you have to come out here and you have to jump the bikes you're racing.
It's one of those things where, and I don't always, when we're doing these motorcycle shows, I hate to sometimes bring up car racing situations because I know we're racing motorcycles, but I use these as examples. In NASCAR, there was a period where they only ran basically one road course a year at Riverside.
Mm-hmm.
Then they added Watkins Glen. Then all of a sudden Sonoma's in there. Now Coda's on there as well. There's 3 road courses on the schedule every year. You've got to be a good road racer now. You didn't have to be back in the 70s. You could just look at that one weekend and go, well, I'm just going to kind of get through this one and survive. Same situation here. There's 4 TTs on the calendar.
Out of 18 races.
Out of 18 races. It's a significant amount. If you're going to go for the championship, you've got to be able to maybe not win, but you've got to be able to get top 10s and top 5s.
Yeah, and I think they have to put more emphasis on it. Going back to NASCAR, they have the ability to drive a simulator and learn the road courses.
Absolutely.
When we come out here to this track, nobody's ever been on this racetrack at this configuration until this morning.
That's right.
So you got to learn on the fly, and you got to learn quick. Briar Bauman on the 3. The last time through the little S turn right here, Meese really hit those bumps and really upset the bike. Now he's looking over his shoulder. He wants to see who he's showing the line. I think he's going to try to go around the bumps, and he still hit that second little set of bumps right there, but not as bad as the last time. The 10
Johnny
bike
Lewis.
Having issues. Looks like he's working on his shifter shaft, and
that was something you mentioned last night when you and I were having dinner. Thanks, by the way, for dinner. Scotty,
no problem.
Scotty bought last night, which was great.
Write that down.
Yeah, well, and you said you thought Johnny would be a contender here today if his motorcycle survived, and he's struggling with that right now.
And nothing, I'm not saying anything bad about the Royal Enfield.
No,
I'm saying
you can say that about anybody here.
Right, but I'm saying parts break. It looked like maybe the shifter shaft is what happened because he's coming off that corner, and then when he landed, now he's actually looking at the back wheel and the back end and the swing arm and stuff. So something is amiss on that bike. You can see he's got one of Brandon Robinson's tail seat cushions on there, Saddleman seat cushion.
And you and I talked about that as well, saying that this is going to be a tough day on the motorcycles.
And on the riders too, but yeah, especially on the bikes. That's a lot of weight and a lot of moving mass to land on jumps. And there goes the 20 bike off the pace as Dallas Daniels got by him going to that first corner.
And he just attacks it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he just...
Look at that. He's so smooth, though.
He's aggressive through those bumps.
Yeah, but very smooth. You know he's working at 100%. But he makes it look so easy. And that's the mark of an exceptional athlete at any game, right? You watch Michael Jordan play, made it look easy, made it look like anybody can play at that level, right? You watch Tom Brady play football, makes you think anybody can play quarterback. But you watch Dallas Daniels on this motorcycle, makes it look super, super easy. But as we all know, there is nothing easy about what he's doing right now.
Dallas Daniels coming up to this jump. It doesn't look like he's shifting like his teammate is, so they may be running a little bit different setup.
Yeah, as I was telling you, when I was out there watching, there's JD flying over the finish line. As I was watching earlier, Dallas was he was really letting that bike roll through that final corner and then getting into that power band and charging down the hill.
So Dallas Daniels second quick here in this timed qualifying session with the 2:08.893, but he was fastest in the first round with a 2:08.840. One more group to go. It's Beach, Daniels, Meese, Briar Bauman, Jared Vandecoy, and Fisher. Your top 6 that were just on the racetrack. We were supposed to have 8 of them. Johnny Lewis did not complete a lap, and we know Brandon Robinson is done for the day. If you're just joining us, he had a get off in the practice session going up to and up and over that second tabletop jump.
You got to find your flow, right?
Yes, absolutely. Find it as fast as you can, and sometimes you might not find your flow until the day's over.
And sometimes it just doesn't come no matter what. No matter how hard you try, it just doesn't happen.
Beach at the top spot. It's a pair of Yamahas at the top 2 positions here in this second round with one more group to go. Looks like they got to get the 10 bike pushed back to the pit area, and it looks like the rear end's locked up on the 10 bike. There it is right there. Looks like the rear end's locked up, so they're trying to figure out if they can loosen that up. Maybe the brakes are locked up on it. That's Brett Armbruster. Looks like he's going to try to loosen up that rear axle, maybe slide that backwards a little bit. Maybe the rear brake's locked up on it. Steve Moorhead's out there observing. So I'll just kick it.
Yeah.
Looks like it's slid forward into the swing arm, so it looks like it's rubbing on that swing arm of that tail section. I still don't think it's going to roll yet. Might have to get the trailer out. Oh, still dragging. Yeah, where's Travis Smith when you need him? Armbruster came on board this season to help him out. He's worked with several different riders. He used to be national number 73. See, I was thinking he was looking down and looking at the shifter shaft when we initially saw it, but it was the rear end locked up on. It looks like it's locked up to the swing arm.
Well, they're going to still need to get Johnny out of the way. I don't think they're going to want bikes at speed on the course if they're standing right there.
Not quite right there. So if you're here,
impact zone.
If you're here with us, don't forget, stop by, get your 50/50 back on track tickets at the AFT Marketplace trailer in the fan area. $5 per ticket. The winner will be announced after the singles main event here today. That goes for a good cause, helping to get injured riders some financial support. The winning ticket holder gets half of it. The other half goes into the Back on Track Fund. Here comes group number 2. Final round of qualifying here today. Then we'll have a short break in the action. The open paddock is scheduled from 1:40 until 2:30 is opening ceremonies. This is group number 2, 37 Bronson Bauman. The 25 is Ben Lau, 36 Colby Carlisle, 94 Ryan Wells, 61 Casey Sisko, the 45 Shelby Miller, 50s J Mac, Jimmy McAllister, and the 46 Andy Dabrino.
Possible wild card, right?
He is. He's not impressed me so far yet today, but it's a big step moving up into the Super Twins class. But yeah, that's his Super Hooligan bike that he's put on a diet, and now it's a Super Twins bike.
Speaking of diets, we blown that out tonight?
Yeah, diet's out the window. Well, you're still on, what, no meat until next week?
That's through Lent.
Correct.
So Friday, Saturday.
What are you thinking, like, good. You want to do some fish tonight?
No, that's just Friday.
Oh, that's only Fridays. Friday. Okay, I'm mistaken. I'm sorry.
That's just a Friday.
All right, so we're definitely blowing the diet over.
Yeah.
We get back on the diet program Monday when we get home.
Yeah, right.
All right, there's Ben Lau, the Holly Hot Rod. Had a good weekend last weekend going. Just didn't get the finish he was looking for.
What's the favorite nickname you ever made up?
Ooh, I don't know.
You've made up a bunch of these.
I have. I don't know.
You got one for yourself?
I don't give myself my own nicknames.
No? Oh, yeah,
no, those come from other people. No. So I don't know. The Holly Hot Rod, it's easy because he's from Holly, Michigan. So that's an easy one. I don't think I gave that one to him.
That almost kind of writes itself.
Right. The favorite one I've given, man, that's tough. I like the Revolver, Brandon Robinson, because he's number 44 Revolver. So I like that one. I don't know. I still like the human highlight reel. I don't know who gave Rusty Rogers that one, but that's perfect.
Well, the human highlight wheel, correct me if I'm wrong there, Tree. I believe that was Dominique Wilkins, wasn't it?
That was... and that was
Dominique Wilkins, I believe, was
the human highlight
NBA
reel?
was the human highlight reel.
Really? All right. Well, maybe it just transferred on over to Rusty Rogers.
That's a good one.
The Flying Tomato, Colby Carlisle.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I didn't do that one either. That was actually a race fan at the Devil's Bowl at a Steve Nace AMA All-Star race gave him that nickname, and it stuck. There's Debrino, Supermoto guy, road racer. White flag is out. One more lap to go.
You didn't do Prince of Peoria, though.
No, that was way before me. I think that might have been Donnie Bartman. So you just thought I gave everybody their names.
No, I knew you gave out a lot of them.
I do. I mean, I've watched a lot of these guys come up as kids, and we'll see the next generation at the AMA Flat Track Grand Championships coming up at the DuQuoin weekend.
Congratulations, Mr. Grand Marshal.
Thank you very much. I'm excited about that. It was an honor to get that phone call. Yeah. Checkered flag is out. Ooh, Carlisle landed hard on the jump right there. It looked like he landed with the brake on or something, maybe, or did just the front?
It looked like the front slapped down, didn't it?
Yeah. And that just comes with seat time. You know, you got to remember to try to land on the throttle to absorb the big compression of the big bikes hitting the ground. Take a look at the replay of this final jump for the 36. That was almost Evel Knievel looking.
It really snapped down hard. You
Yeah.
see it snapped his neck.
Yeah, just threw that front end down hard. You know, that was the checkered flag. And we also, again, I'd like to point out, I know we've talked about it a few times, Ralph, but that finish line is a little bit near the bottom of that landing jump. It's not, you know, you'd think a finish line would be like halfway across the tabletop or whatnot. But here we go. Second round. This is how they qualified in round number 2. JD Beach, 28.856. Daniels second. Jared Meese third. Briar Bauman fourth. Van de Koy's fifth. And it's time for the open paddock area right now from 140, which is right now. Opening ceremonies are at 2:30, so open paddock area going on right now. If you want to come on down here and meet your favorite riders, you got about 50 minutes, maybe about 45 minutes. So if you're here with us at the Wild Horse Pass, come on down. Paddock is open. When we come back, opening ceremonies coming up at 2:30 out here in Arizona. We'll step off here for a little while. Enjoy the open paddock area. We'll be back to Arizona shortly.
Grown with water from the Colorado Rockies. Pesticide-free, meticulously tested soil, carefully harvested by hand in order to develop our enriched CBD formula, producing highly concentrated CBD products so you can perform at your best every single time. Learn more at zoecbd.com.
RideNow is your Arizona Powersports headquarters. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned motorcycle, UTV, or watercraft, visit one of the 8 Arizona RideNow locations. No one